Okay, I think that we are good. Yeah. Let me just double check. Okay, jump to live. One day I will have my stream starts less scuffed. Yeah. Okay, yep. YouTube is working. And I think Twitch is working. Okay. Yeah. All right. We are live. Hey everyone, it's Zume here again, and I am going to be resuming the playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. Uh, so to kind of like recap what just happened last, we kind of have been going through the city of New York trying to find a sire named Renard Cassell, and we ended up on Brother North Island, one of those two. I think North Brother Island, where we met a guy named Eli Sansaric, who kind of gave us a tip on that, or he basically told us that Renard Cassell had scammed him out of a bunch of past dealings, and the main character, Kali, was completely unaware that she that her master or her sire was basically just scamming people. And now he has a bad rep, and of course she has a bunch of issues with the Camarilla in New York because, yeah, of course she would, because her sire is just a complete scam artist and pisses everyone off. So we will hop right back into it. Ooh, Night 3, the Serpent. Connecting the dots. Let's point Lady Indy. Bernard's exploits have me even more on edge than the carnage that happened at the island. I need to figure out my next move. Okay, so... And I am so confused on this hunger system. I did eat someone's, or drink someone's blood when I was at the island. Um, and this is all grayed out. So I assume if it's gray, that means I'm not hungry. And if it's red, that means bad. Or like if it's filled up, then it's bad. So not filled up, good. Filled up, bad. And this is filled up because there are some vampire hunters and kind of ate one of them because, hungry. Okay, we're at Hunts Point Landing. Even I have heard some of the crazy legends that popped up around the ministry over the years. I don't give a shit if they can actually control the elements, but the second we bailed from that shithole on North Brother Island, okay, it was North Brother Island, a ruthless wind kicked up, shoving us right back to our boat. It was like Mother Nature screaming at us to get the hell out, to run, ditch this cursed dump before it sucked us dry. Cursed dump. So yeah, we totally bailed. Man, this is definitely kind of like some table RPG storytelling. Like, yeah, you guys kind of rolled a nat one on your weather or nature check, so yeah, the weather sucks. We zoomed across the East River and only chilled when that wicked wind finally took a break from breathing down our necks. That's when it dives into the icy Hudson, stirring up wild waves. As we are talking on this pier, as we are talking on this pier, the thunderous crash of the water drowns out our voices, all fierce and intense, like it's slurping up our words and stashing them away. Uh, let's recapitulate. First, Jessica Wainwright says Renal Cassell is now #1 on the circulatory system's hit list. Patrick isn't the type to make big gestures while he talks. He usually just spins his ring or shoves his hands deep into his pockets. But this time he's putting on a bit of a show, ticking off imaginary bullet points on his fingers. Interesting. Kind of interesting that someone would be noticing that. Yeah, Kelly's paying a lot of attention to Padre. Yeah, and I'm probably going down with him if I don't stop digging. Not like I've got much of a choice anyway. Correct. And second, Eli Sansovic swears he hasn't talked to Renard Cassell in months. And the items? I guess kinda, because she didn't really know what they were. They were like trinkets, right? Usually it's juicy tidbits I find online, but yeah, let's go with items. Right. The items you arranged for Sansaric through Cassell haven't showed up yet, or shown up yet. Cassell has also developed a rather intense, almost obsessive interest in the antediluvians, but his reasons and objectives are still a mystery. I just quietly nod along. Bernard Cassell has been MIA for the past few nights despite having meetings lined up. He goes quiet for a bit, spinning his ring like he's trying to tether his thoughts to something solid. In all honesty, none of this sounds promising. Not for finding him, and definitely not for his safety. He stops talking and just stares off into space, fiddling with his ring. What else is new? But there's another piece of intel we've dug up. And there's that Shimisi. Oh my gosh, someone told me how to pronounce this. Zemisi from the Hudson. Rita, was it? Since Sarek mentioned she's after Renard. Ooh. Yeah, I think Zemisi is like it means dragon in some language. Let me actually search what that is, and also how to pronounce it again. Zemisi. Yeah, I have no idea how you pronounce them. This doesn't really say. They're just the dragony vampires. Dragons. Don't know much about her, just that she's got some sort of show on the Hudson. We should definitely look into her. That ring of his is spinning faster now, and I somehow sense that Podrick's about to piss me off with another load of bullshit. Yeah, Kali does not mince words. She just kind of likes to, be blunt. It hits me all of a sudden. He does that a lot, doesn't he? Spins that ring and then spouts nonsense or flips his stance. I'm not convinced that the smartest approach. Or, I'm not convinced that's the smartest approach. What solid proof do we actually have that ties her to Cassell? Aside from the rumblings of a disgruntled serpent. There we go. He's trying to, wimp out. None, but then again, we don't have much of anything solid, so we might as well chase up what leads we do have, right? That makes sense. He keeps spinning his ring, his expression smoothing out like he's trying to straighten his thoughts. I wonder if Podrick is shaking up that we killed some people already. However, I think it might be better to focus our investigation on the circulatory system. Is this him being pragmatic? Anxious? Or maybe did he just spin the ring and let fate decide? That's a weird game to play, but I guess it works. Honestly, that feels way riskier than just chatting with one kindred. I can't believe I'm the one who wants to play it safe. There's no way he lets sheer chance guide his actions, right? Not Mr. Cool and Collected. It's got to be something about Richa herself. Is she really that intimidating? Are you scared of her? Well, Sansaric did imply that she single-handedly ousted his entire group out of Harlem. To be fair, he only suggested that she just does whatever she wants. And he's not a fan because she totally stepped on his toes. I mean, if one vampire was able to kick out, like, a whole pack of, like, 8, and, yeah, she must be some pretty big headshot, like, honcho headshot. There we go. Let me move my mic a little bit better positioned. There we go. He turns away and spins his ring faster as yet another realization dawns on me. From what little I know, it's out of character for Podrick to be scared of someone he hasn't met. That is true. Hold on. Do you know her? Like, personally? I don't... Well, I've heard of her. Spin, 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 spin. Spin, 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 spin. Yeah, he's spinning. Word travels fast, and she's been the talk of the town for some time now. She's quite the enigma. Spin, spin, spin. I wonder if she's one of those antediluvians. No one knows where she came from or why she chose New York. Only that she invades territories and stands her ground decisively. Spin, spin, spin. And that unknown element is precisely what makes her a threat. Spin, spin, spin. I'm so tempted to rip that fucking ring off his finger and smash it to pieces. I shut my eyes and grit my teeth, trying to concentrate. Yeah. I would... I guess if someone had a tick like that, eventually it would get annoying, right? Okay. I get why you're freaking out. I'm kind of... I guess I would be annoyed. But yeah, I get it. I get it. You're being cautious, but I'm not. I'm really not in a position to tiptoe around a potential lead. Maybe all the scary stories are just gossip, and she's actually quite reasonable. Yeah, we can have wishful thinking, right? Yeah. We'll hope that stories are just stories, you know. Perhaps, but this is fact, not gossip. Many kindred who sought her out have never returned. Oh, he's afraid of dying. But that's also true for both the Camarilla and Anarch turfs, where we've taken risks and gotten useful intel. I don't get why you're all weird about looking into Vritra, especially since you've never even met her. Or so you claim. The diff... He stops spinning his ring and grips it tightly, his knuckles turning a shade paler. The main difference between her and the Camarilla is that with the Ivory Tower, you can occasionally talk your way out of the deal. Negotiate like you did a couple of nights ago. With Vritra, the story just has one ending. You disappear. His explanation almost makes sense, but he won't even look at me as he speaks. He just gazes off into nothing, fingers constantly dancing on his stupid ring. Wait, is his ring one of those, isn't it one of those dice rings with like different faces so you can like spin it and then whichever face is up is like the number? Interesting. And while I get that everyone has their quirks, I'm not demented enough to think I don't have any. It's really starting to get on my fucking nerves. You know what? As much as it kills me to say it, you're right. This Vritra chick is way too dicey just to waltz up to. Let's stick to something more solid for now. Yes, exactly. He sounds so relieved, it almost makes me feel bad for what I'm about to do. Almost. But then he starts spinning that goddamn ring again. It's just that, this is killing me. I need to do something with my hands before I literally explode. A look of concern flickers across his face. Literally explode? Does that have something to do with your clan? Nah, it's just how I'm wired. Got a coin or something I can toss? Maybe a pebble? A button? Oh, is she about to yeet his ring? Oh, evil. He gives me a puzzled look, but dutifully digs into his pocket and hands me a coin. A quid, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, a pound coin. Interesting. Thanks, so... Oh, shit. Looks like the serpents are having second thoughts about letting us walk. As he turns to look confused, I swiftly snag both the coin and his cherished ring from his hand. Before he can turn back, I slip the ring on my finger and step back. Never mind, probably just my mind playing tricks. Hey, what's up with your ring? Up close, the ring is actually pretty intricate, even kind of beautiful. It's a dice spinner that mimics a D20 die. I give it a flick, it lands on a 1. I choose not to take that as an omen. Ooh, a nat 1. Interesting. So it's like a 20-sided ring. My ring. What? I lift my hand and give my fingers a little wave, flashing the double band. If he were mortal, Podrick would be the portrait of distress right now, with his pupils shrinking to dots. He reaches out with a trembling hand. Give it back. Why the fuss? It's a cool piece and all, but seriously, what's the big deal? You don't understand. I really need it back, please. I stand my ground with my arms crossed, watching him falter. His body tenses as if to jump, then relaxes abruptly. His hands clench and unclench, and it's clear he's struggling to keep himself composed, almost on the verge of kneeling. I know he's been putting on a show these past few nights. He's a pro and I get that. Game recognizes game. Game recognizes game, and you looking kinda unfamiliar. Nah, I guess he is familiar. Do I know you? But right now, he looks so downright pathetic that I have to really remind myself that we're both just playing our parts here. Kali, I'm serious, please. It could turn really ugly really fast. Give it back, just give it back. Ah, he seems so... Am I the bad guy here? Well, I mean, you just stole his ring. It clearly, like, has a lot of sentimental value. Maybe it's like the one ring and he has to take it to Mordor. This can't go on. I need to find out. I will if you tell me what the fucking problem is. Look at this from my angle, will you? I feel like I'm about to lose my head here, and you're acting like it's fine to gamble with my existence. You get how messed up that sounds, right? It's not what you think. Just please hand it over and... And then what? You'll just skirt around the issue? That's all you ever fucking do. He stays quiet, teeth clenched, shivering on the ground as if he's going through withdrawal. He knows... Who knows? Maybe he is. He's addicted to a ring. His precious ring. You really don't think much of me, do you? Haven't I shown you I'm reliable enough? I wouldn't say that, you just stole his ring. Come on, Padre, quit the game just this once and trust me. What's going on with you? I might be able to help you, you know? I pry his hand away from the decaying plank that he's nearly crushed, slip the ring onto his finger and step back, just in case he decides to take a well-deserved swing at me. At least she knows it's well-deserved. The reaction is instantaneous. I watch in silence as he curls in on himself, cradling his hand to his chest, his head bowed, shoulders heaving with sharp, near-mortal breaths. It takes a while for him to find his words. I wrestle with my impatience. Just stay cool. Wait. Right when I'm about to blurt out something stupid, he speaks. I do not leave important decisions to a die roll. Absolutely not. You're right. It would be monumentally foolish. He lifts his gaze from the ring and looks at me with a piercing clarity. I plop down next to him, nodding at him to go on. This ring, I consider it my lifeline. It keeps me from drowning in the relentless flood of voices inside my head. Oh, he's schizo. It doesn't shut them up entirely, but it dampens them, makes them manageable, subdued. Wait a minute. He's schizo. He's schizo. Is this why you've been so obsessed about inner voices? And that Duskborn sauna? Yes. I'm searching for a more lasting solution. Or for some clarity, at least. Clarity on what? On what these voices actually represent. You don't know? I know. I've known these voices as long as I can remember. I understand why they grew stronger after my embrace. I also know they're not like what others experience. Podrick, I'm still lost. What others are you talking about? Oh, is he like a Bruja or a Bruma or whatever? Isn't there like a clan of vampires that are like schizoed out? He falls silent for a hot minute, the ring on his finger twitching incessantly. It's a truly irritating sight. I should probably look away before I'm tempted to yank it off again. Oh, there it is. I am Malkavian, Kali. The whole cative act is just a facade. Malkavian, derided as lunatics by other vampires, the blood of the Malkavians lets them perceive and foretell truths hidden from others, like the wise madmen of poetry. Their fractured perspective stems from seeing too much of the world at once, from understanding too deeply, and feeling emotions that are just too strong to bear. Monikers, the Clan of the Moon, lunatics, madmen, jesters, oracles, dervishes, visionaries, children of Malkav. Malkave. Is it Malkavian? Malkavian? I'll just say Malkave. Malkavian. So that's the clan. Yeah. So Malkavians are the ones that are just kind of crazy naturally. Okay, and his gaze, filled with suspicion, narrows on me. You don't seem terribly shocked. I mean, what are we if not the secrets we keep? Kali isn't even my real name, you know. Huh? What is it then? Slow down, Turbo. We're still unpacking your little masquerade here. What's up with that? Oh, Azelev's fate. Good to see you again. Why the pretense, you mean? Yeah, that. I get the gist, but I want to know the deets. How's the story? Yeah. Oh, I just got off work. Well, I hope you're unwinding. The story, yeah, I literally just started streaming, I think, what is it, 20 minutes ago. But basically, we just learned that Podrick was lying about being a caitiff, like a clanless vampire. He's actually Malkavian, and he's kind of schizo. He hears a bunch of voices, and that ring that he fidgets with is kind of like a totem that prevents him from or reduces the loudness of the voices so he can concentrate. Yeah. And now we're just learning that Kali's real name isn't even Kali. Uh, so I guess they're finally having their coming out moment. The deets are that Malkavians aren't exactly crowd favorites, particularly those among us with an uncanny insight into the future and no talent for concealing it. Yeah, he hears the voices. They tell him what the future is. That's kind of cool, but I guess it'd be pretty annoying. But apparently he was hearing voices before he became a vampire, so he might just be a little schizo. Yeah, the story took a big turn. They just kind of, talk to Eli, row the boat across, and then have this little heart-to-heart. Wait, hold up. You're telling me that you can see the future? No, nothing so extravagant. I get feelings, hunches. Occasional whispers offer me a glimpse of what might be. Sounds pretty nifty to me. Believe me, it's anything but. It's impossible to tell if these whispers are a boon or a bane. I guess that's true, because the future isn't set yet, so you could have like 5 different possible timelines going on and it would just be really annoying. Wait, so your own voices are screwing with you? Yes. That's seriously messed up. No response. I take it that he agrees. Yeah, I mean, that would be, I guess that's rough life as a schizo vampire that hears the future. So these whispers, did they tip you off when you saved those anarchs 2 years back? He seems surprised that I remember his little confession. In a way, I was lucky to guess right, and lucky that Torque cut me some slack for my erratic gift. I nod silently, piecing together a conversation in my head. Everything clicks into place, except for one nagging question. But if you understand these voices and their origins, why bother dissecting them? I hear many voices, each of them distinct, but also the same. It is difficult to explain. But among them is one that's elusive. It doesn't come from any known place, and it can't be quietened. Not even by my ring. I need to uncover its source and purpose. I'm the sauce. So it's nastier than the others. Not exactly, just enigmatic. And there's only one. He pauses, his fingers inching toward that cursed ring. Then he clearly abandons what he was going to say. Nobody seems to know a damn thing about it. Maybe he's hearing the voice of his ancestor, Malcave. I squint at him, suspicion tightening my features. You're holding out on me. Again. Of course I am. But I'm being open about it. It's impossible to share everything about oneself. I find that fascinating, don't you? No matter how transparent you try to be, there are always aspects of your life you keep to yourself, intentionally or not. The nuances of our situations. What a load of crap. I mentally check out for a bit, then I cut off his philosophical rambling. I like Podrick. He seems like a bright guy. Cool it, Gandalf. Keep your secrets. Just remember, I'm not letting fate roll the die for me. We already have one reckless idiot on this team, and that's me. Ooh, very self-aware. He seems stunned, but in the end tosses me a small but genuine smile. Thank you, truly. Had I known you would be so understanding, I might have told you sooner. I apologize for misjudging you, Kali. Oh, what would I say? Is he falling in love? I guess. Yeah, we're gonna make it a love story. Apology accepted. I ship him. Thank you for telling me, even if it was under duress. I. Right. Yes. So, shall we get back to the important stuff? Yes, but no more secrets. Wait, were you calling me a dork or calling Podrick a dork? Me for shipping Kali and Podrick? They're the obvious ship. Come on. You got but Kali, yeah, we should. You're a dork. Oh, I'm a dork. Okay. Okay, I am. I like the philosophy though. I like my educated thinkers. Yeah, we should. Unless you've got more bombshells to drop. I'm just messing with him, but I catch a flicker of genuine panic on his face. He quickly masks it, and I choose, just this once, to pretend I didn't notice. No, nothing else to declare, but I admit, I'm quite curious about your real name. Nah, we're definitely not there yet. Yeah. She's, yeah, very timid. I was wondering, because she kind of comes off as Asian, and Kali is a Indian name, as far as I'm aware of. So it's probably something like, I don't know, just not Kali. Maybe like Lin. Renard, why is the circulatory system so obsessed with getting him out of the picture? I mean, there's the whole blood trade thing, sure, but why the sudden urgency? I feel like blood trade isn't a big issue. It's probably more the antediluvian stuff. I'm guessing it's because they know something we don't. Indian or Middle Eastern? That's what I was thinking. Like Kali, because she's the god of destruction in Hinduism. Um, but Kali, like, I think she mentioned that she was like Asian or something like that, like Korean or something. That's a reasonable hypothesis. Right? Every now and then I hit the nail on the head. Now, if the Camarilla hadn't swiped my laptop, I might have done some deep digging online with all my tech. But honestly, it probably wouldn't have made a damn difference. A behemoth like the circulatory system probably uses a sealed off intranet for all their dirty laundry. That's true. If you want to keep things under wraps, you gotta, keep it all sealed off. If only I could hack into their database, but it's all coulda, woulda, shoulda at this point. Hold that thought. Getting into the circulatory system's database might just be within our grasp. I squint at him. He's full of surprises tonight. Must be the bloodshed getting to him. I'm now thinking of the different Romanized spellings in some Asian languages I'm familiar with. Kali. I mean, there's Cali, which would be like the English version. Yeah, I can't think of any. Have you ever come across someone named Kaiser? I don't think so. Kaiser, that would be king in German, right? After Caesar or Caesar in Latin? No hablo español, that's German. Oh my gosh, Kali. You mean Allemand, but that's besides the point. Kaiser is quite the figure here in New York. A veritable eminence. I've never even seen this word. Grease? A veritable eminence grace whose influence extends everywhere like a spider's web. Alright, hold on. What are we talking? Oh, hey Nine Dime, good to see you. I'm about to Google what Greece is. Like Grise. This is French word for. Oh, okay. It's like gris. And that's the feminine version. Why would you use that in English? Oh, but it means in English step or degree. I'm confused. All right, wait. Merriam-Webster, enlighten me. Variant of grace. That doesn't help me at all. French is so pretty. It does. It has the, the accent grave and all that stuff. What is, all right, Oxford Dictionary. What is this Greece? Uh, the word is now obsolete, only recorded in Middle English period. I wish the dictionary would just tell me what it was then in the Middle Dictionary. Oh, the entire phrase is something. Eminence gris or gray eminence is a powerful decision maker or advisor who operates covertly in a non-public or unofficial capacity. Oh, well, Britain was conquered by France for a while, and they were kind of forced to learn the language. I see. So when he says is quite a veritable eminence gris, it means he's kind of like a puppet master, a guy working in the shadows who, he's like the little finger. He doesn't have any real official power or titles, but he has a lot of influence. So okay, that it's a phrase, eminence grise. I see, whose influence extends everywhere like a spider's web. Uh, there's little he doesn't know, even with the recent altercation with La Sombra Primogen. La Sombra? La Sombra are creatures subtly at odds with mundane reality. La Sombra vampires are expected to triumph at any cost. Ruthlessness is a sought-after trait in progeny, making their reputation as betraying interlopers well-deserved. Most do not seek attention, preferring to act as puppeteers, powers behind the proverbial throne. To a shadow, the ends justify any means. Monikers: the Night Clan, Magisters, Keepers, Shadows, Abyss Mystics, Turncoats, Traitors. Oh. You don't care how pretty French is. You hate the language. There's something. I think it's okay. It's something that kind of grows on me or grew on me after a while. I spent like years learning it, so I had to kind of get used to it. It is very useful though, just because of, at least in African countries, um, they either speak English or French usually. What happened? Is he our only option? All right, let's know what happened again. What altercation? I also spent years learning it, which is why I don't like it. Yeah, some things like I really don't like gender in language, but that's the same with Spanish. Because I always forget like, oh, this sounds masculine, and then people are like, no, you use the wrong version of the adjective. It doesn't sound right. I'm like, I always guess the gender wrong, and I only have a 50-50 chance of getting it wrong. I'm not privy to the particulars, only that it profoundly disturbed Kaiser. Ooh, altercation with La Sombra, the Shadows. Interesting. Huh, that Primogen sounds pretty cool. I should definitely not meet with them then. I don't want no altercations. Oh, she went with the double negative. I don't want no altercations. I doubt you have much say in whether the Primogen chooses to seek you out. And anyhow, if we want to operate under the Camarillah's radar, Kaiser's our kindred. Yeah, but hooking up with someone like that, I mean, I'm not even planning to stick around New York much longer. Piling up debts while hunting for my sire sounds like a nightmare. That is fair. Well then, we don't have any other... Hold up. What about that Malkavian savant? Word on the street is she's pretty slick with intel. You know her, right? From clan to clan? Ah, you mean Hope, the CEO of Double Spiral. Right, her. She's famous for her tech chops. Heard some chatter about her back in LA, too. She was in the West Coast. Well, she might not be the best fit for this job. Cracking open the database is one thing. Getting her hands on it is another. but she's been a thorn in Kaiser's side lately, having steadily gained ground in his areas of influence. Maybe she's picked up some new tricks she hasn't unleashed yet. It's your call, Kali. This is about your sire, after all. Honestly, none of these options are exactly stellar, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Ooh. Alright, guys. What are we doing? Kaiser or Hope? Either the Shadow Master guy, or this kind of crazy techie who can hack databases. But she's Malkavian, so she hears voices and stuff and might be like, you know, I don't know, just crazy. Alright. I'm gonna go with the Shadow guy. The Shadow Puppeteer Master, Kaiser. La Sombra. Or not La Sombra, the, what is it? Eminence Grise. Hate to say it, but I think our best bet is the city's top info broker. Risky as he seems. What? What, Faith? You said damn? Did you want to go with the techie girl? Oh. Logic. Alright, I'll set up a meeting for tomorrow night, just after sunset. Meet me at my haven as soon as possible. Yeah, Emperor on top. You'll find another place to crash tonight, I take it. He's learning. Neat. Yeah, but I'll be there. Pinky promise. Oh. He flashes me a knowing grin and nods. Then we go our separate ways, melting into the vanishing night. Kinda ironic, isn't it? The deeper I sink into this mess, the lighter I feel. Ooh. That was an interesting chapter. So what is this? Eating opportunity. Oh my gosh. I don't know if my face reflects it, but my dog just ripped the most rancid fart next to me. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my. Oh. Buddy, why would you do that? Oh. Oh. Okay, do we meet? The landing looks secluded enough to sneak in a quick bite. Fingers crossed I can dodge any IRL streamers. I've got the worst luck with those. Yeah, I'm thinking feed. But I also have hunters on me, so maybe... okay. Yeah. Let's get them a little munchy. Shadows tighten with each echoing step. Oh. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't eat when the thing's filled up. It hits me that something's off when I notice this fumbling idiot who crashed into some trash cans a few blocks back is still following me. Could be a coincidence in a city as big and chaotic as New York, but hell no. I've zigzagged across streets and flipped sides more times than I can count during this short walk. There's no denying it. No matter how much I want to stick to my original route, this creep is definitely on my tail. Considering the crap I've seen, it's not far-fetched to think it could be a hunter, but damn, I've been way off more times than I'd like to admit. Pick up the pace. Yeah, he's a hunter. You gotta dip. I'm taking 0 chances here. You gotta roach out. Following D'Angelo's sage advice, I speed up. Nothing dramatic, just enough to not turn heads, but guaranteed to make any mere mortal bust a lung or two. But even so, this dude seems glued to me. What's he on, meth? Something worse? Dang, he's just tweaking. I don't know, I always thought people on drugs, they aren't good at running. They get winded easily. Or something worse, like zeal. Oh, he's a zealot. Fervent. Shit, guess I was right. And if this creep's a hunter, it's time to haul ass and vanish before a whole squad of them shows up. Feed me all night long. I dart into a dark, secluded alleyway, intending to shake the stalker off for good. But surprise, surprise, turns out the alleyway was not so secluded after all. There's this guy leaning against a filthy brick wall, eyes locked on the main street and by extension on me. Unlike the fumbling idiot, he's got the distinct blank gaze, a look I've already learned to hate and clock at first sight. A hunter, of course. When it rains, it fucking monsoons. After all, the hunter-related crap of the last few nights, the idea of even brushing past this one makes me want to hurl. So I do a quick about turn and almost walk straight into my stalker, who seems to have found a new sidekick. And they both have the same bone-chilling stare. I've kept my supernatural stuff under wraps recently, haven't I? I'm pretty sure I haven't pulled any stunts out in the open. But the second all three of them reach under their jackets and whip out wooden stakes and a very nasty looking flare gun, the details of my fuck-ups become irrelevant. Fuck my unlife. FMU. Oh well. No way but the hard way. Oh. Alright. I'm not going to try and threaten them because they don't seem really... Like, they seem pretty focused and it's a 3v1. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm just going to try and disappear. I smile at them, lifting my hands in mock surrender as I suppress my growing panic. They just clear back, silent and tense, ready to pounce, but my little act makes them pause, if only for a second. That's my cue. I burst into inhuman speed, dive under an incoming stake, and dash toward the far end of the alley. The crack of the flare gun suddenly echoes behind me. It misses, and a sharp scent of phosphorus fills the air, but I'm not sticking around to give them a second chance. Yeah, roach out, roach out. The moment I am round the corner, I stop and press myself flush against the wall. In the blink, I am suddenly there, but not quite fully corporeal, but somehow forgettable, inconsequential, invisible. Yeah. Sneaky, sneaky. Ooh, that lowered my hunter amount. Okay, so when the bar fills up, that's bad. When it's grayed out like this, that means it's good. That's good to know. The hunters zoom past me, hurling curses into the night, but I ignore them. I am the stillness. I am the background. I am one with the grime of this dirty-ass city. It takes a good few minutes before I dare to move and look for signs of pursuit. The coast's clear. I peel away from the wall, letting go of my forgettable shroud before sprinting off the other way as far as my legs will take me. It seems I managed to get away by the skin of my teeth. In peak Ravno style. Heck yeah. Just turn into a bat. I didn't take that perk point. When I picked my starting class, I chose stealth and intimidation to put my stats in. Still, all that running around ate up way too much time. Guess I'm skipping that detour tonight. Yeah, I guess we just go to... who you call it? Let's quickly do the math. Deadly sunlight plus my clan's particularities equals a new spot to keep me from getting dusted. I just hope it's better than the last one. But honestly, with the chaos that keeps unfolding, any hideout will do. Yeah, I didn't know it was an option. I've seen options where it's like, if you have enough stat points, then you're likely to succeed these like animal checks, like talking to birds and rats and stuff, but I assume my stats are bad because I didn't put any points into it. But I have good stealth and good intimidation. The apartment I scored thanks to the signs of our crew. Wondered who left it there. Renard? Jess? It's thankfully much better than the dump I had to crash in back in the Bronx. Oh, she kind of sleeps like my dog. She puts her feet on the wall. It's gonna leave a mark on the wall. It's clean, spacious, and sunproof, so at least I won't fry to a crisp while daydreaming. Not exactly my cozy RV, but hey, in a couple of nights I could get used to it. Wait, her hair has purple? Interesting, I always thought it was just plain black. But I guess it's like she has like a purple streaks in her hair. I sort of assumed you just had a preset character. I did, I didn't get to choose Kali or anything like that. It's just when I made the, started the game, it was like, you have 2 points to put into skills. Which skills are you putting the points in? Got the purple hair. It makes sense with the goth outfit and everything like that. I feel like purple and black are a good color combination. If it weren't for the damn near certainty that I'll turn into a pile of ash come sunset, that is. Lying in this queen-size bed, hands laced behind my head, waiting for sleep to hit, my mind can't help but spiral around the shitstorm of the past few nights. Turns out, there's more I don't know about Renard than I do about Podrick, and I've been Renard's child for almost 2 freaking years. My embrace? Yeah, that's not a trip down memory lane I enjoy. Not just because it felt like getting ripped apart, but because it caught me off guard. What, did she not choose it? It was just like done to her and she's like, oh, well, I guess I'm a vampire now. That would kind of suck. I wasn't one of those poor sods whose entire existence revolved around becoming kindred, who slaved away as ghouls for decades, if not centuries, just for a chance at that one final kiss. To be honest, I had no desires or purpose back then. Just drifting through life, much like these nights, following impulses, hit up that city, no scratch that, head to the other one, swipe from that dude here, scam that lady over there, put on a show, disappear. Okay, so she was a traveling, like, hustly con artist. Interesting. Live. I caught Renard's eye at a music festival. I was really raking it in with sleights of hand, hustling the clueless out of their money. Rich kids were everywhere, dripping with cash and confidence, making my job a damn breeze. In just one day, I made enough to cover my tickets 3 times over. Dang, that's a lot of money. It's like, I don't know, a music festival is like a few $100s. I think if she lived her whole life like that, she'd be a little bit better at it. You would. I kind of wonder, like, when vampires get turned into vampires, do their skills get, like, stuck at the level they were as humans? Or can they actually get better at something after they, after they get turned into a vampire? Or is it, like, frozen in time? It lasted until Renard came along and decided to take me down a notch, exposing all my tricks, swindling me of my hard-earned money, humiliating me in front of my cash cows, and then had the nerve to promise me some bright, shiny future with his gang. Oh, he's like, I'll bring you onto my crew. Oh, never accept the crew offer. Unless you want to live a very interesting life. I told him to go to hell, obviously. I'd had it with assholes and had zero interest in joining a gang. Cruising alone across the country suited me just fine. Or so I thought. It's been years since I convinced myself that solitude meant freedom. But soon enough, whether I liked it or not, I learned a whole new meaning of freedom, one that went way beyond just being lonely. It was that very same night Renard spotted me in the crowd and decided to embrace me right under everyone's noses. Oh, snap, so he just kind of like, you know, bit her and sucked her dry right in a crowd of people at a music festival and no one noticed? I guess they probably just thought he was like her boyfriend or something and giving her a hickey. I can believe that. Most people on music festivals are kind of like drunk or high or something. Or just like enjoying the music, so they probably wouldn't notice any of that. No one even batted a freaking eye as he hauled my dying ass out of that festival. Facts. Yeah. That would be pretty normal. They would just be like, oh, she got too drunk or something. Man, I'm in a rotten mood today, ain't I? Gotta remind myself, it's not all that bad. Those last 2 years with Renard's coterie were better than a big chunk of my life. Turns out, being part of a tight-knit group, a found family, he calls it, can be pretty damn sweet. Amen to that. Not so much when the leader turns out to be a lying, dodging snake, though. That's a recent bombshell, with that merchandise not reaching the buyer, the sudden antediluvian obsession, and being at the very top of the circulatory system's hit list. God damn it. Renard Cassell, what the hell did you get yourself into? That'd be rough. Imagine you're just a normal person, kind of living your life, and then, oh, Julia, the baddie. But yeah, just imagine you're living your life, go to a music festival, and then you get turned into a vampire, and you're like, yep, this is your life now. Forever. Literally, forever. I'd be pretty pissed. Yeah, I'd be super pissed. But, well, what can you do? I guess you just have to accept it. There's no going back. What is it? Slow night, boss. This girl was kind of sassy before, wasn't she? He clearly detests it when I call him that, but I keep tossing it his way every now and then. Who knows? Maybe it'll rekindle some of that old buddy vibe we lost along the way. So that's the... She was the con artist. Julia? Was she? I know we met her at the yeah, inside of the Camarilla building, and Kadir is the sheriff. Not that I'm dying for it, it's just he turns into a total snorefest once he flips on that professional switch. Oh yeah, yeah, Kali was a con artist. Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, I mean, it would kind of just suck, like, you didn't, because she had no idea, like, vampires were real or anything. She just gets bit, turned into one all of a sudden. That would kind of suck. Just having no way of knowing what you're getting into, or even having a choice in it. It's not like he asked her if she wanted to join his crew. It was just, bam, you're here now. Handling the Callahan case the way I did, I knew it wouldn't exactly endear me to him. Turns out it might have cut him deeper than I ever thought it would. How many this time? Another two. A duskborn. Oh, what would Julia sound like? Hmm. Maybe I'll give her a southern drawl. Another. Oh man, can I even do that? Another two. A duskborn and one of the. No, I can't do that. A duskborn and one of the Isling fledglings. The way they were found, their last moments were far from pleasant, to say the least. This is absurd. We're sequestered here like a bunch of idiots, struggling to find common ground, pretending we have this mess handled. I'd read her for you if I could. Well, I would appreciate that. Yeah, it's always weird, like, whenever I'm playing, like, a D&D campaign or something, and, like, I remember when I was a DM and I had to voice female NPCs, I was like, oh, how can I do this without sounding ridiculous? Uh, we can't let this continue. You know that. We have to crush this mob, snap their pitchforks, and smother their torches before everything spirals out of control. I mean, you're the sheriff. In my book, that's your shot to call. You've got plenty of backup in there. I'm a master at sounding ridiculous. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I could sound ridiculous, but yeah, it would kill the vibe. Hmm. Honestly, I don't know what's holding you back. Uh, the dear Alice. Oh, what? That's the fundamental difference between us. Unlike you, I still have a modicum of respect for the rules, even when they bind my hands to the choices of fools. Language. Yikes, there's that fiery glare again. I need to work out on my timing, and he needs to sort out his anger issues. Oh, this girl. Do you mind if I intrude on this delightful conversation? Jesus, I hate when she pulls that Cheshire cat shit, popping out of thin air like that. What is it, Valerie? We might have identified the mastermind behind your locust swarm, as you so aptly put it. A mere glimpse at the file she hands Kadir has me reeling. Maybe one day, lol. Him? Seriously? Positive. But then, piecing things together, it makes perfect sense. The locusts would only rally under a supremely charismatic asshole. I'm not a fan of that hairstyle on Valerie. Oh, you don't like the hair put up? It reminds me of, paint me like one of your French girls. Oh, like one of that stuff. It seems very French to me. And there's no asshole quite as magnetic as Aaron Fletcher. Ooh, Fletcher. Interesting. Yeah, I like the hair put up. I think it's very functional. It's like, business in the front, party in the back. Oh, and night, yeah. Yes. This is Lifeline Prelude, night 4. Hey, everyone has their tastes. I mean, there are some hairstyles I'm not a huge fan of. Like, ooh, I'm not a fan of like short pixie cuts. I'll say it. Like if yeah, the short pixie haircut. I'm not a big fan. Reminds me too much of Karen's. The concept of sleep completely changes when you become one of us. You don't really get gently lulled by the warmth of Morpheus's embrace, more like tossed into dark, depthless waters where the cold suffocates you till you can't feel anything. Hmm, interesting. So it doesn't, I guess your sleep feels worse. Damn, what you got against umbrella hair, Rihanna? Wait, umbrella hair, Rihanna? I don't know. I was thinking more like when Emma Watson shaved her hair. I was not a big fan of that change. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss when Emma Watson had long hair, and I'm glad she grew it back out. But I was not a fan of the short hair era. Um, Waking up doesn't exactly leave you rested, but it's not quite exhaustion either. It's more like a narrow escape from some fathomless and terrible threat. Hmm. Which doesn't at all explain why I feel so fucking exhausted as I make my way to Podrick's, tuning out the lively chaos of New York streets on a chilly December night. You're not a fan of pixie cuts, but you don't hate them. Yeah, yeah, I would say I don't, like every haircut is pretty much tolerable in my opinion. As long as it's clean. Like if they're like legit dreads that are not clean, that can be kind of, you know, nasty. But as long as the hair is clean and kept tidy, then yeah, I guess everything is kind of tolerable, depending on who it's on. You know, even the city's festive lights scattered among the gray urban landscape can't lift my spirits, and neither can the delicate glimmer of snow. Yeah, yeah, Callie likes the lights too. Do vampires ever suffer from seasonal depression? Because it sure as hell feels like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I bet vampires probably get depressed because they're at, they never get any sunlight. They have a constant vitamin D deficiency. Not one sane people would get, though. Oh. Podrick manages to blend in seamlessly with the scenery, yet I spot him from a block away near his haven. Uncharacteristically, both his hands are buried in his pockets instead of fumbling with that lifeline ring of his. His head is bowed, eyes aimlessly fixed on the pavement as usual. Oh, he walks with his head down. Oh, yeah, let's make it weird. Hey, 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 what's a kindred like you doing in a place like this? Do you think vampires take vitamin D pills? I don't know. I think they're dead. And if you think about it, vitamin D gets produced by the body, and so there's always some kind of like in the blood. So I think they get most of their vitamin D from their food. Um, yeah, but I wonder about that. If vampires can like taste the difference if someone's like, an otaku who never goes outside and has like no sunlight exposure, or like someone who works outside every day. I bet the person who works outside every day probably tastes better because they have like, soaked up all that sunlight. Uh, his expression softens to a wry smile. Oh, this old place. It's just where I hang out. I was actually waiting for you. I jokingly fan myself with one hand. Ha ha ha. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. How about we switch gears? Oh, the teasing. I wonder if certain blood diseases taste bad. I bet they do. Like, what is it? I know in like True Blood series, the vampires can get hepatitis. And they're like, yeah, hepatitis is no fun as a vampire. So I assume there are some blood diseases that can affect vampires, and maybe they just get like tired or exhausted or something. Tell me, what's the forecast? What's the forecast with Kaiser tonight? Well, to be perfectly frank, we can expect a cold front of hostility. Imagine drinking someone's blood and finding out you got an STD. Oh, that would be rough. That would be rough. You're like, oh, I got the herpes now. That would be that would be the worst. Like you become a vampire all pretty and everything, and then you just got some sores on your lips or something. Oh, that would suck. And medicine doesn't work on you. Ooh, fantastic. Another enemy is just what I need here. It's not quite like that. To put it plainly, Kaiser's presence is nothing short of repulsive. Oh, he's repulsive. I'm yet to encounter another kindred who's as inherently distasteful. You mentioned vitamin D, and my brain thought of something dumb. What was it? However, I must implore you to bite your tongue. If we want answers, we must suffer the insufferable, I'm afraid. Hmm. No, we both wonder what the vitamin D reference was. Well, I can't make any promises. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but we both know how that's likely to turn out. Maybe it's best if you do all the talking. Yeah, Podrick, you're good with the words. Observing would be my preference, but I think we can manage. There's a brief pregnant pause, and then I succumb to the urge to disrupt it. Disrupt it. What do you think Kaiser will want from us in return? Before I can form my worries into words, a monstrous, opulent limousine screeches to a halt beside us, its tires right up against the curb. Podrick braces himself and gives me a resolute nod just as the limousine door bursts open and a lanky guy steps out. Wait a minute. It's you. Wait, what? The street gambler dude is... Oh, well, it's rated R, so you could possibly think of an idea. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can think of that as well. Vampires are pretty lustful creatures, I bet. You know? Uh, so the street gambler dude, this guy is Kaiser, the Eminence Grise. Grise, I guess he is pretty repulsive. Yeah, they nailed that description. It's that lame gambler guy, the one I totally humiliated way back when. What's he doing here? You work for Kaiser? You're a bloods... I mean, you're one of them? Damn it, I should have known. Trying to play me, you didn't do me any favors, let me tell you. Not that I'm blaming you or anything, miss. You could try, but even better, learn how to play the gambler's game. You're gonna need it if you want to keep on swindling. He looks at me with eyes devoid of thought. Is that some type of poker or... No. How about we put an end to this conversation right about now? The guy cowers a little bit at Podrick's exasperated tone, but quickly recovers. Come on in. The boss is waiting. Dang, this is a swanky limousine. Jeez, they got the whole setup, you know. They got the PC servers and, you know, everything fancy. He should consider dealing the whole deck instead of... I know, exactly. It gets, like, if you play the same person twice, you're like, hey, what are the chances we all get dealt the same cards we did before? Exactly, in the same order. Yeah. He's not a very good swindler. Oh, they got the wireless keyboard. And wireless mechanical, you can tell the switches are, it's nice and big. Very schwanky. I thought I was ready for anything after Podrick's warnings and all the nasty rumors about Kaiser. But man, was I totally off. That Nosferatu info broker's face is even more hideous than I could have imagined. And the limo's far from the swanky vibe I expected. I guess it makes sense. He's like technology. Nosferatu. The Nosferatu wear their curse on the outside, their bodies horribly twisted and disformed through the embrace. They lurk on the fringes of most cities, acting as spies and brokers of information, using animals in their own supernatural capacity to hide. Nothing escapes the eyes of the so-called sewer rats. Monikers, the clan of the hidden, horrors, sewer rats, lepers, hives, scabs, vagrants, orlocks. Interesting. Yeah. I watched Nosferatu, the remake, recently, and it was pretty good. You know, I have my own impression of the bounce on it, crazy style. Maybe I'll do that voice for this Nosferatu guy. Instead, we're in a high-tech paradise, top-tier peripherals, touchpads, laptops, phones, tablets, the works. It feels so much like my own geeky heaven that I have to sit on my hands to stop myself from touching everything. That is not what I expected to hear. Oh, but it's the Nosferatu meme. You know, you bounce on it crazy style. It was a very interesting movie. Uh, and I guess Count Orlok. His name was Count Orlok, so they share that. Maybe Orloks are just a Nosferatu reference. I'm so caught up in all the cool gadgetry that I forget about Kaiser's fabled mean streak. So when his grating nasally voice cuts through the engine's hum, I nearly jump out of my skin. Since when was Nosferatu a freak? I don't know, since they made that movie. I mean, he really wanted that woman. He was like, I'm going to cuck her husband and get him killed and everything. Listen up, you fuckwits. Time is money, and you're clearly broke as shit. Spill it now, or piss off out of my ride. No. Got the accent wrong. Oh, hell no. Who the fuck do you think you are, asshole? How about I piss all over your ride, huh? Her job was to shut up, and she couldn't do that. I might have lost my cool a bit there. I don't even need to look at Podrick to know he's seething with frustration, but I'm not backing down that easily. I think he's burlier than the guy they described as burly. I do as well. Kaiser just scoffs and glares at me, giving me the silent treatment for what feels like forever. Look at that. This one's got some bite in her fangs. Reminds me of someone I really don't fucking like. His hand moves towards his leg, and he clenches it so tightly his knuckles dance under his awful skin. Interesting. All right, let's cup the crap. Conroy tells me you're itching to dig into the circulatory database because that fucker Cassell screwed the pooch big time. I raised an eyebrow at Podrick. I hadn't really thought about what setting up a meeting entailed, but I definitely didn't expect Kaiser to score all this free intel. Podrick's frown suggests that Kaiser might have snagged some secrets on the sly. Oh. If I remind him of someone he doesn't like, I should not act like myself. I don't trust him. Something like that, yeah? You on board? Kaiser flashes me a grin with those shark-like teeth, and I can't tell if he's amused or threatening, so I just put on my best tough girl face. I might just spare you assholes from getting screwed. The jury's still out on that, but if you dimwits can follow simple fucking instructions, we might all make out like bandits from this deal. Especially me. Capisce? All I can... Capisce? Yeah, I guess that's the New Yorker way, instead of Italian where it's like, what is it, capisce? All I can do is clench my jaw and nod, resisting the urge to knock out all of these pearly sharps of his. Thankfully, Podrick suddenly remembers he's supposed to do the talking. So, judging by all this hardline posturing, I assume you have some plan up your sleeve, Kaiser. Watch your fucking mouth, Conroy. You're in my space now. I'm dying to throw some snark his way again, but I choke back the urge. Podrick's stern glare definitely plays a part in that. Here's the deal. I've set up a meeting at the main office of the circulatory system, posing as a high-rolling Ventru. Autarky is looking to dump some cash into their pit. Now, what is Ventru? The Ventru are not called the Clan of Kings for nothing. Carefully choosing their progeny from mortals familiar with power, wealth, and influence, the Ventru style themselves the aristocrats of the vampire world. Their members are expected to assume command wherever possible, and they're willing to endure storms for the sake of leading from the front. Moniker, the Clan of Kings, Blue Bloods, Tyrants, Warlords, Patricians, Borgias. But what makes me silly? Doing like a Russian accent for a Kaiser. Name? What? What exactly do we call this Autarchus? Autarchus, kindred who remain unbound to political sects, either through refusal to allow other sects to move into their domain or by simply refusing to align themselves to any but their own. Their ambitions usually lie in protecting their own unlives or lineage, and they care little for others. Ooh, that's a little dangerous, being an independent.
Didn't I tell you to shut your trap? The faster I'm done, the faster you fuckers stop stinking up my car.
Yes, lol. Maybe if you spill all the beans now, I won't need to drill you with more questions later, yeah? Kali has a point, Kaiser. We need to be thorough about every last detail if we're to pull this off.
The name's Mr. Tuberon, you twats. Satisfied?
That's more like it. Go on. The sooner he answers questions, the sooner they can leave. Indeed.
Unbelievable. Now the autarchist, Mr. Tuberon, he ain't about to mingle with the lowlifes himself, so he's sending his goons. That's you, morons. To handle the big fucking deal on his behalf. Those blue blood assholes are so hungry for a buck, they'll jump at any fucking chance they'll get. That's your ticket into their fortress.
Out of nowhere, he whips out 2 ID cards and flicks them at us. Damn, this guy is slick and fast. There's a note slapped onto mine with a sticky mess of glue sporting a Staten Island address and a hand so sloppy it's practically criminal. Oh my gosh. These are some shitty fake IDs. Maybe he's just a Chuny, thought Kaiser was a cool name. Maybe he is. Chuny Bio.
This here's your golden fucking key into that dump. Lose it and you're fucked. Capiche?
Capiche?
What you do next is on you. You'll find that database in their labs.
And he sees, yeah, they got cameras? What about cameras? The place must be crawling with them.
Screw the cameras. Either way, you fucks better plan your exit from the city, and fast. And as for you, Conroy, you'll scrape something together.
Podrick responds with a slight grimace.
Maybe you'll slither back begging for my help. I might find something for you, for a hefty fee, of course.
That will definitely not be necessary. Thanks for the concern, though, and for these cards. Just then, the limo swerves dramatically to the right and screeches to a halt on the sidewalk, the sound of honking cars filling the air.
Deal sealed. Now get the hell out. I've got real business to handle.
Wow, he's such a big hotshot, man. Look at this. He's such a badass with his Bluetooth headset. Come on, buddy. It's 2024. If you're using the Bluetooth headset like that, and you got these, wait, I just realized his glasses don't have, like, frames. They're just, like, yeah, they're just, like, plopped on there and stuck to his nose. Dang, all right. But he's got a pretty Gucci watch. Good taste. Very schwanky for an ugly dude. Which is kind of weird. Like, he's even got the comb over. Probably like a Wall Street type before he became a vampire. In the ensuing chaos, we scramble out of the limo under the harsh glare of streetlights, the urgent tone of Kaiser's farewell echoing behind us.
I'll be at the spot on the note. Don't screw this up, or else.
Podrick and I stand motionless, caught in a kind of limbo, watching as Kaiser's limo dodges through traffic, disappears around a corner, and slips out of sight. Well, that could have gone way worse, right? What kind of vampire do you think I would be? Ooh. That's a good question. If I was a vampire, I'd probably be like, who's the guy from Queen of the Damned? Like, was it Lestat? Who becomes like a rock star in the underground scene? I'd probably try and do that. Like, I like music and stuff. And if you can live forever and gain skills, I'd probably get like, start a band, hang out with some humans and stuff. Yeah, exactly, Lestat. So I was like, I'd probably try and do that, influence the movement, do some Nine-Inch Nail stuff, you know, try and wage war against the corporate machine. And yeah, I mean, if you have eternity, might as well like build a purpose out of it, right? Oh no, what would you do if you were a vampire? Would you kind of be like the aristocratic kind that's like, this blood, AB positive, is so delicate? Uh, or would you be like the street ones that are very scrappy? Or, yeah, I guess if you live forever, you're kind of just gonna try everything, because eventually you just get bored. But I guess what would you try first? We extracted more from that meeting than mere invectives. Invective? I've never heard that word either. I need to look that up. I would say it went quite well. Aristocratic type would be funny. Invective. All right. What does this mean? Invective. I feel my vocabulary growing. Insulting, abusive, or highly critical language. Okay, okay. Coming from Middle English and subsequently Latin. Okay, okay. So basically, invectives are abusive language or insults. I wouldn't be able to take them seriously. I bet there would be aristocratic types in the vampire world. Like, people who secretly run the shows, you know, control all the blood banks and whatnot. Um, and they probably would be very stingy with their like supplies. So this batshit crazy plan, we're actually going to break into the circulatory system and jack their data. I mean, it's right up my alley, but yeah, the plan is utterly mad, yet it seems we have no other option. Podrick appears eerily composed, as if the idea of being caught red-handed at the circulatory system hasn't crossed his mind. But I can tell the wheels are turning. He's probably stressed to the point of zen. I chew on my lip and think. Oh, very much so. I can go it alone. Think happy thoughts. Yeah. You know, be positive. Ah, that was a vampire reference. Get it? Ah, be positive. I'll show myself out. Right. Enough doom and gloom. We can go in. You do the talkie. I do the sneaky. Badabby dab, badabbing, but bada bing, bada boom. Dome and, or done and dusted. Okay, all right. I do the sneaky. Bada bing, bada boom. Done and dusted. Yeah, there we go. It does sound like a plan, yes. Any objections? Well, no? Good. Let's hit it. My mood shifts dramatically as soon as we buckle up in Podrick's car and take off towards our goal. I feel almost numb, the way my brain buzzes with uncoordinated thoughts like a giant incomprehensible beehive. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Podrick throwing concerned glances my way before he decides to break the silence. Is everything okay? Yeah. It's just that I might not know Renard as well as I thought I did. The circulatory system, the antediluvians, some enigmatic, powerful backer. I'm not even sure who he is anymore, and it's not like I can just ask him right now. Podrick absorbs my words, mulling over the thought in a heavy silence. I get it. It's really unsettling to realize you don't truly know someone you thought you were close to. Guess the ticking clock isn't making things any easier, huh? It fucking doesn't, but cheers for the reminder. My apologies. Wasn't trying to add to your stress. Yeah, I get it. But hey. I playfully smack his shoulder, forcing a smile through the strain. Oh, aren't they so cute? Podrick and Kali. At least you won't be stuck with me much longer, right? His attention snaps from the road to me, his look one of unexpected irritation. Oh! He's catching feelings. Ooh, he's a little love struck. You know, I take no joy at the thought of holding you before the Primogen Council should we fail to capture Cassel. I swiftly turn my head away and look out the window. Well, I do now. The lifeline, Kaiser. Circulatory system labs. Ooh, this is like a schwanky building in Southtown. Ooh. What was it? There's like isn't there a place like Dumbo down under Manhattan Bridge overpass or something like that? Every second near Kaiser makes me want to punch a wall, but still, his little cloak and dagger act might be what we need to break into the circulatory system. All right. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to take a quick break and get some more tea. I will be right back. Okay. I'm back. There we go. All right. Ah. Audric and I spent a solid 5 minutes just gazing up at the building we're about to infiltrate, our next crane completely silent. Color me psyched, I guess. That's one massive fucking building if I've ever seen one. Indeed. It might complicate our plan, as big as that is. It's probably packed with high-tech security and the usual batch of guards lurking around every corner. Yet, there are also plenty of empty spots we could use to lay low. Look at you, picking up the tricks of the trade. What's the tea for today? It is Yorkshire Malty Biscuit. So, I've been drinking a good amount of it. It tastes like sugar cookies. Oh, you know the tea. Yes. It is pretty good. I gotta say, it's better with cream, but I actually have milk. I could have added some, but I forgot to. I'll do it next time. Mm. Yeah, but it's super good with like cream or milk. Because then it just kind of tastes like a... Yeah, it kind of tastes like a sugar cookie as a tea. Fancy. Hey, it's just, Brits, they sometimes drink with their, either lemon or milk, depending on the type of tea. I usually just drink mine kind of plain without sugar or any type of sweetener or anything added. Just the hot leaf juice. Let's not just sit around. Time is running out. That's a song by, or no, it's a lyric in a song. Our time is running out. Dun, 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 dun. I love me some Muse. The interior of the circulatory system branch is artfully incognito, masquerading as a budget-friendly medical clinic. Budget-friendly medical clinic? That's an oxymoron. I guess it's for like low incomes. Very nice. It's got all the trees and everything. Very New York. Marble floors. It's the perfect cover, under the radar, ignored by the upper classes and the authorities, and with a constant justifiable stream of visitors at all hours, even the ungodly ones. Like right now, for instance. And here I am, ready to dive into the fray. Ready? Podrick nods, and right in front of my eyes undergoes a profound transformation. His whole demeanor morphs into something snooty, refined, and downright disdainful of everything. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he whips out the monocle. His usual slouch disappears, replaced by a straightened back, lifted chin, and squared shoulders. He could pass for some stuck-up young heir from a wealthy family if it weren't for his tacky shirt and flashy rings tucked away in his pockets. Mr. Tiburon's very own stooge. He strides forward, oozing confidence and poise, while I fold myself into his shadow and become practically invisible. Alright, I gotta get my aristocrat on. The moment we step into the foyer, all eyes are on us, or more accurately, on Podrick. A dashing young concierge with a plastered-on smile hurries over to greet us. Ooh. Podrick makes a show of coldly refusing to reciprocate his warmth and polite greetings, immediately asserting himself as a domineering and difficult client. In the meantime, I keep quiet behind his back, my face impassive and supremely bored. If I had gum, I'd be blowing bubbles like it's nobody's business. As planned, we get separated. Podrick leaves with the concierge to discuss business, while I'm paired up with another employee, a young woman named Nima. Nima? Cute name. Who at Podrick's firm request is tasked with showing me around the labs ASAP. That's kind of crazy to roll up in at night and be like, hey, I need to look at your lab because I'm a investor. She tries to smile at me, but my stony face wins out in the battle of expressions. Oh, she's so nice. She's wow, she has a weird pendant though. It's like kind of looks like a gas mask. Yeah, like a gas mask pendant. Uh, shall we go, ma'am? I simply shrug and nod in response, and we make our way toward the elevators. Oh, ooh, there's a lot of blood. I knew it. The vampires run the blood system. The moment we step into the labs, my persona flips. I make sure that my tour guide sees my eyes widen and the smile that almost splits my face into half. One look at her back in the foyer told me all I needed to know about this Nima and how to manipulate her. She clearly loves her job and takes an enormous amount of pride in it, and nothing would make her happier than sharing every single detail about it. Dang, she reads people like a book. All she needs is a willing ear. Well, here I am, both ears wide open. I bombard her with questions and she happily obliges, growing more and more animated with each answer. But the more she talks, the more distracted she becomes. Hold on 1 second. Let me deal with something. Mhm. Okay, there we go. Ooh, never hit that button before. Okay. I'll just go back to that, and now I am back. Continue. She shows me around many, for my purposes, useless rooms, and then I feel something small scuttle between my boots. I glance down. A mouse? Really? And this the level of cleanliness? Is this the level of cleanliness we're dealing with here? This little bloodthirsty critter probably chews on blood bags for fun. About 15 minutes later, we enter a large laboratory on the other side, in which I spy incomprehensible glass gadgets, several rows of coolers with blood, and a PC connected to the local intranet. Oh yeah, giggity. Perfect. Hmm. What do you guys think? Should I, use my seductive powers to get Nima to fetch me the data, or should I just be sneaky sneaky? Hmm. I guess I did tell Podrick I'd be sneaky sneaky, but it would be pretty baller just to, Actually, no, she loves her job. I don't want to get her in trouble. I'll just be sneaky sneaky. Yeah. I turn to Nima with an eager smile and leisurely lean against the desk with the PC blocking the display with my body. So, you've told me a lot about the experiments you conduct here. How does that work, like, mathematically? Do it for me? A little too late. Damn. She tosses me a confused look, but obligingly takes out a dry erase marker from the pocket. Oh my gosh, I'm getting her to do math. This is terrible. Terrible. But obligingly takes out a dry erase marker from the pocket of her lab coat and starts writing some equations on a whiteboard, narrating as she goes. As x squared plus, constant b equals the growth rate, blah, 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 sigma delta x. My gosh, that's my cue. I tune her out immediately, instead taking her melodious voice and spinning it around me like a dampener or a shield. Every single noise I make is absorbed, warped, blended seamlessly into the swirling vortex enveloping me. Sound is imperceptible, even to my own ears. Yeah, I can't make fun of her though, because I do a lot of mathy, geeky stuff too. Question for all y'all. Would you rather a Peeps hot dog or a Jaeger hot dog? Okay, okay. Peeps, you mean like as in the marshmallow candy? And then when you say Jaeger, you mean like Jägermeister? As in like the alcoholic beverage? Because those are both pretty weird. I keep a keen eye on Nima, alternating between quietly fumbling with the PC and pretending I'm listening to her in those brief moments when she stops her lecture and turns around to make sure I have no questions. Hot dog on Peeps and hot dog soaked in Jaeger. Oh gosh, if I had to choose one. Hot dog soaked in Jaeger. I think hot dog, like marshmallow hot dog doesn't sound terrible, but I feel like, Jaeger soaked hot dog could be actually kind of good. Okay, we're split on that, Peeps or Jaeger. I have none, of course, not only because I have no idea what she's talking about, but also due to because my shield steals my voice as well as my steps, the keyboard clicks, the rustling of my clothes. The PC is password protected, of course. Hacking isn't exactly my forte, but I'm good at predicting mortal laziness. The password is on a post-it stuck to a notebook on the desk. Terrible, OPSEC. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Your IT security would be, like, very angry that you do that. I have definitely never put a password on a post-it. Except for, like, once. And it wasn't an important password, it was just like a random one. They chose the Peeps. Okay. Interesting choice. I access the PC and hastily make a copy of the database, freezing intermittently to nod or shake my head as Nima glances back at me, while my free hand tries to get inside the computer case. I put a password on a password locked note before. Note to self, let Zuzu deal with my cybersecurity. Oh, I know a good amount. I've written some code in my day. I've always let my IT guys do it. Though they're really cool because they're always like gamers and stuff. So I can talk to them about just like tech stuff, and they totally got it. Great planning from me there. Oh, put a password on a password locked note before. Hey, don't worry. There's plenty of stuff I just leave to the pros. Like, even though I know a lot of math and stuff, yeah, compared to like the hardcore like PhDs, I'm just like, ooh, I'll let you guys do your stochastic calculus and whatever. I'll stick with my basic statistics. I access the PC and hastily make a copy of the database, freezing intermittently to not. Okay, I read that. Why is she gonna yank the hard drive? Mere seconds before Nima closes her marker and slips it back into her pocket, I manage to slide the case open, gently extract the portable hard drive, and put it into my belt bag and close the case back shut. Okay, that's kind of crazy. You were a math kid? I was. Yeah. I studied a lot of math. I basically took it every year. Yeah. And then once I got to university, I was taking multiple math classes every semester. And close the case back shut. Is there anything else you'd like me to explain? Okay, Nima, your gas mask necklace, very, very weird. I quickly drop my shield and smell at her, shaking my head. No, thank you for taking the time to indulge me so thoroughly. You'd make an excellent teacher. She blushes. Perhaps she's not used to receiving compliments. Or maybe she's hoping for a recommendation in front of her boss. Well, she's going to be disappointed. It seems that Nima is done with the tour, so we stroll back to the foyer. Ah, it seems our little tour is over. Thank you for showing me around. It was my pleasure, ma'am. I wait for what feels like forever before Podrick sweeps into the foyer, followed closely by the concierge who's practically tripping over himself to keep up. He's drowning Podrick in apologies and desperate pleas for future meetings, his face going from flushed to pale as a ghost. Oh my gosh, he's just like, oh no, no, I don't want to do this aristocrat stuff and investor meetings. Meanwhile, Podrick's pulling out the whole disappointed VIP act like a pro, effortlessly brushing off apologies and offers for better deals. It's the performance of a lifetime, or maybe several. I can barely hold back my laughter, especially when heads for the door without a second glance, snapping his fingers at me to follow. I manage to keep up my obedient facade as we leave the circulatory system and hop into Podrick's car. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, I would say Kali is she definitely has some Asian features. I would guess Korean. It's unclear if they notice someone making off with their precious data, but the circulatory system doesn't immediately come after us, at least. That's good. Podrick's clearly geared up for a pursuit. The way he's maneuvering through the streets, pedal to the metal, eyes flicking around like a paranoid squirrel on the lookout for a tail. Let's hit the NOS, boys. Woohoo, let's fucking go. I can practically see the need for speed in his eyes, but in the end, he eases off the accelerator, blending into traffic as we head back towards Brooklyn. I'm guessing your part of the caper went smoothly. Smooth as silk. Had a bit of fun in the lab downstairs, but hey, got what I came for without breaking a sweat. Quite an adventurous night, I see. I tossed my head back and laughed, catching his genuine smile out of the corner of my eyes. You could say that. And you? Enjoyed going all snobby rich kid on that poor concierge? You'd agree with the Korean guess? Yeah, that's... I feel like the, I don't know, maybe it's the cheekbones and the eyes and forehead. It just has that kind of Korean look. But maybe mixed, like a Asian. He shrugs, all casual, like, I have little sympathy for venture goals. As far as I'm concerned, they signed up for this job and all its perks. Ice cold, man. Impressive, too. Stick around me a little longer and I'll make a con artist out of you just yet. Who's to say I'm not one already? Ooh. I can't help but burst into laughter again, straight from the depths of my shriveled heart. Completely genuine. Oh, what if Podrick's been conning us the whole time? He has one secret he hasn't told us yet. Go with Taiwanese. Taiwan #1. Time to dive into the ocean of data and pray our shark picks up the scent of something that'll make the whole heist worth it. Yeah, it could be Taiwanese. I was gonna say that, like Han Chinese. Yeah. Definitely could be. Kaiser keeps us hanging at the meetup point like it's a personal joke. Clearly his way of saying fuck you. His massive limo finally rolls up and we're hurried inside by the same lanky guys before. The door slams shut behind us with a resounding thud. Podrick and I get a moment to settle before Kaiser impatiently extends his hand, signaling for me to hand over the stolen hard drive. I'm tempted to give him a high five first, but I figure he might toss me out the window or something. Ooh, Mung? That's also a good guess. That'd be like, what is it, South Chinese? He plugs the drive into one of his many laptops and silently sifts through the data. A satisfied grin spreads across his grotesque face. Must have hit the jackpot with some serious dirt on the city's big shots, maybe even beyond that. Suddenly he lets out a long, sharp whistle, his hairless eyebrows shooting skyward. Ooh.
They've got a shit ton on Kessel.
A shit ton, huh? My gut churns uneasily. Lay it on me.
Are you sure you want to dig into this? Because from where I'm sitting, he's royally fucked.
I swallow nervously, but there's no hesitation in my voice. Yeah, hit me with it.
Oh, but with pleasure.
He shows us a scan of a report from the FBI Special Affairs Division. The file, apparently intercepted by an unnamed circulatory system associate, is chock full of Renard. Photos, videos, you name it. Oh shit, he has a dossier in the FBI? Ooh, he's messing with the big shots.
And according to this rap sheet here,
He pulls up another file, the system's examination of conscience with Renard's name. What? Vampires have a conscience? Interesting.
he's balls deep in every kind of shady deal you can think of. Look at this, selling rare blood, mortal trafficking, nothing new there, preaching the masquerade, yada yada. Corroborating with Sod, like hell. Diablerie? Now that's horseshit.
I can feel Padrick's gaze on me, but I refuse to meet it in fear that he might actually read something from my eyes. I'm no saint, okay? Most of that stuff kinda rings a bell, a mere... What, a week ago I was the one pulling the strings behind the merchandise transfers through my dark web channels. Not that I always knew that what was being shuffled around. I'm not sure how much I would have cared even if I knew. I've dabbled in some truly nasty shit, both both after and before my embrace.
See, it's him mixing in shady red market deals and being sloppy enough to get on the SED's radar that's got Cassell plastered all over the circulatory system's dartboard.
Is there anything else worth mentioning?
Fuck yeah, there is. Arnhem's trade.
Ooh, the fuck? That's actually news to me. Also, again, it's not unheard of. Kindred dipping their toes into selling guns.
And is that an issue? Gun running. Please. This whole fucking country stands on semi-automatic legs. The problem is whom he's trading with.
Oh shit. Is he running guns for Al-Qaeda? Is he a terrorist supporter?
But it doesn't even matter. No way the dumb fuck alone could. How did they put it? Coordinate a weapon deal with a high-profile mortal. Dickhead.
Oh shit. That sounds like Al-Qaeda. And terrorists. And he stops talking, the asshole. I could count to 10 and ask. Does it say who that mortal is? Kaiser shrugs dismissively, still looking through the pages.
No. The rest is all redacted. Must be some important asshole. Or a dangerous one. Or they have no idea. And speaking of, they've got Cassell mixed up with that fucking Hudson witch. She's right up there on the circulatory system's hit list too. I guess cunts of a feather fuck together.
Oh, wait. The Hudson Witch. What was her name? Not Skylar.
Hope.
Hope?
Not much dirt on her though. Nothing I don't know already know at least.
Vitae freezes in my veins. I exchange bleak glances with Podrick, remembering Sensaric's words about Renard getting even cockier and his new powerful patron, the self-appointed queen of the Hudson River. Oh, that one girl, was it Vitrias or something? Vitrias? Yeah, the snake lady. Maybe it's a good idea to wheedle some more information about her out of Kaiser. Vitra, that was her name. Vitra? I know that name. Yeah, I heard about her a little bit. Podrick shoots me a warning look, which frankly I don't understand. Intel is power, my guy.
A little bit's as much as you can get. Nobody knows jack shit about her.
And you?
Me?
He barks out a laugh.
I've got all the dirt that's worth knowing, which by my standards is barely anything. But it's clear she's involved in some nasty shit. There's whispers she tangled with the Black Hand. Zero proof of that, though. Believe me, I know if there was any.
Black Hand. Oh, is that like isn't that the group that killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand's? What is it? Yeah, that one dude who messed up 3 times and killed the Archduke and started World War One. He was part of like the Serbian Black Hand. But I guess it just means like some secret organization that kills people for political purposes, I guess. Podrick visibly twitches and gets busy spinning his ring. Black Hand? You mean the Sabbat? Aren't they extinct on the East Coast? Sabbat, the Sabbath? Huh? You mean the Sabbat? Aren't they extinct on the East Coast? They were driven out of New York City 2 decades ago. It does not mean they're extinct.
Conroy, as always, seems to know too damn much. But yeah, bingo. Still, I don't buy that she's with them. Doesn't fit her play style or style of playing the big game.
Care to elaborate on that? He sighs deeply as if my questions cause him immense agony, but then starts talking almost immediately. Maybe he actually wants to talk, but he can't, because he's got a reputation to uphold. Don't know, man. Is that a Nosferatu thing or something? D'Angelo's also chatty as hell. Wait, is D'Angelo a Nosferatu? Is that why he's so ugly? Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense.
About a year and a half back, Vitra just pops up in New York overnight. Takes over the whole fucking Hudson and a half of Staten Island, and then poof, vanishes off the grid.
What do you mean? I thought she's been keeping the city in check the whole time.
She has. She's been lying pretty fucking low for Kindred, annihilating anyone trying to parlay or step on her turf. She's brutal. If Cassill's really in cahoots with her, and still keeps his head, fuck, that's no small feat. The bigwigs probably want him just for pulling that off.
Oh, Cassell's got his in.
But don't get it twisted. Whatever shit they're spinning, it ain't really part of Cassill's plan.
I furrow my brows. It's an angle I haven't even thought about. And by the look of sheer panic flashing over Podrick's face, neither has he.
Nobody knows what Vitra's game is, which is exactly why every fucker and their sire in this town wants her gone. Volatility is a bitch for keeping order here in the big fucking apple.
From what I've seen, that's pretty much the typical kindred push and pull in big cities. Seems to me like she's just the other side of the same coin here, but with one non-negotiable rule. Podrick butts in, his voice firm and cold. Yes, don't fuck with Vitra. Kaiser just shrugs, visibly annoyed, indicating he's done with the conversation. His sharp eyes go back to looking through the SAD's files on Renard. Ooh. I feel like if I ask directly, I'm not getting anything. Kaiser isn't one to do, like, I don't think he would take bait. He's a smart guy. So I'm going to deploy subterfuge. I crane my head and not so subtly read over Kaiser's shoulders. The name Addison Payne is peppered throughout this section of the document. Addison Payne, who's that? Addison Payne, Addison Payne. Hey, isn't he that old fart in a wheelchair from the Camarilla?
The one and only paraplegic blue blood cunt. This report makes certain conjectures about him.
Yeah? What kind of conjectures?
These ain't from the SAD files. They're straight from the circulatory system, based on the shit they found in their records. There's been talk about Payne and where he really stands, all because he apparently was buying spiked blood from Cassell.
Payne, buying from Cassell. Why would he do that? A Ventrue of his position has no need to stoop so low. Don't vampires have regeneration? They do. I think they just have to drink blood and they'll be pretty good. But I think if they get like stabbed in the heart or they're like decapitated or something, or if they get bled out, then they die the true death.
Seems like a month ago or so, some Ventrue began pushing to cut off Payne's access to his circulatory system privileges. Crafty little shits, I'll give them that.
How do you end up in a wheelchair? Oh, that's a good question. Maybe he was paraplegic before he became a vampire. Ah. That'd be interesting, like being chosen to become a vampire because of like your connections, even though physically you're like, yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a very good question. Like, if a paraplegic turns into a vampire, can they walk now? Or do they just stay, like, wheelchair bound? Because that would be rough if it's the latter case, because yeah, that would just be rough. What is that supposed to mean? Kaiser grins at him unpleasantly.
Can you really trust the man who uses someone else's voice to speak? Just let that sink in, Conroy, my boy.
What's that supposed to mean? Kaiser just ignores me, slams the laptop closed, and raps on the glass at the driver. The limo swerves hard to the right and comes to a full screeching halt. The door next to me pops open. Oh, you think they could because regular people get physical enhancements? I would. I think that was actually a very good like plot catch. What if I think they're trying to let it hint that this guy, the paraplegic dude, isn't actually like in charge, or maybe isn't like actually yeah, he's not actually in charge. Maybe the butler who does all the talking is the person who's really in charge, and he just has like the paraplegic dude around to like, you know, give him authority. Oh, that could be it.
That's all I've got for you. Now take a hint and fuck off.
Hold up. I want a copy of that file. Kaiser stares at me like I've grown a second head, then bursts out laughing. It sounds like the croak of a dying frog. I don't know if I could do that sound. Ribbit.
Ain't you a fucking comedian? Now get the hell out, or I'll throw you out myself.
Wheelchair guy is a decoy. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the butler is actually in charge, and the wheelchair guy is just a, you know, what do they call it? Person like who is in power, but it's not actually in power. A figurehead? Yeah, figurehead. Were we still mortal? After all the revelations of tonight, Podrick and I would probably hunker down in the dim corner of a bar, drinking our, well, mine, mostly, sorrows away, and unraveling the tangled skein of our findings. Yeah, or I should say tangled skein. Since we can't stomach alcohol, ooh, that's rough as a... I thought vampires could, like, drink fermented blood. It's like wine. Since we can't stomach alcohol, we just wander around in silence for a while until we settle on a tiny little bench hidden beneath a naked winter tree. Yeah, that would kind of suck. If you're a vampire, you can't, like, drink any alcohol or anything. Dang. That kind of sucks. There, well, I'd like to say that we talk, but it's more like a floodgate bursting within me, unleashing a tidal wave of pent-up frustrations. And Podrick just quietly lets me rant, slowly spinning his ring and nodding from time to time. The sheer number of times Renard pops up in these sad files is pretty fucking concerning. Not only because of the actual shit he's pulled, but also because he's been so damn sloppy about it. They have so much stuff on him, stuff that could have easily been avoided if he just, I don't know, put a bit of thought into his actions and kept me in the loop maybe. Like, it's no coincidence that there's nothing specific about me in that file, you know? I clean up after myself thoroughly, I think. Regular people wouldn't find shit, and Renard left so much fucking trail behind him, I'm surprised he's not in some kindred Guantanamo by now. They could have bagged him without breaking a sweat. They can't stomach alcohol, so just drink so much that you throw, even if you weren't a vampire. That's the spirit. Yeah, you gotta be like that one guy, Shoe Nice, and just chug the whole bottle of vodka. Just right around. Man, that guy is crazy. I can't believe he's still alive. Ooh. Podrick gives a skeptical hum, leaning forward and examining his ring. And yet, they haven't. Perhaps that speaks volumes about your sire's ability to dodge bullets, even deep in hostile trenches. I snort inelegantly. Yeah, snort. Yeah, I guess. He's Ravnos after all. There's a few beats of silence before Podrick speaks up again. Any idea why Renaud might be dealing in arms with a mortal? I sigh deeply, feeling the air expand my lungs more than humanly possible, and shake my head. Honestly, Podrick, I feel like I don't know shit anymore. I mean, Renard was never particularly precious towards mortals, so I thought maybe we'd end up wrangling some eventually, but now I just don't know. Plus arms dealing? That's so... I don't know. It's not our style, you know? We're Ravnos, we're tricksters, con artists, not warlords. Oh, that's where the vampires draw the line, you know? We'll sell drugs and everything and scam people, but, you know, selling guns, gun running, that's the line. I can't recall dealing with a single mortal since my embrace almost 2 years ago. That's crazy. I feel like as a vampire, you'd have to deal with them at least somewhat regularly. Um, if you stuck in one place for a while. If Renard was peddling something, I'd expect it to be fake shit, decoys, or whatever, but guns? It just doesn't make any sense. Audrey gives that deliberate cough of his, a prelude to dropping some unsettling truth. I hate to be the bearer of harsh truths, but I get the feeling that you never truly knew your sire. A couple of nights ago, I would have flipped out at that suggestion, but now, you know, Jess is right. Renard is a real dick. I collect a handful of gravel from the ground and toss it bit by bit into a puddle of melting snow. It's all pure bullshit. Yeah, and I'm fucking pissed about it. I mean, I knew he was good at hiding stuff, but not that good. Almost 2 fucking years I was by his side every goddamn night. Am I just that blind? Or maybe I straight up ignored all the red flags. You know, yeah, I mean, if he's kind of like your father figure, those red flags might have actually looked, you know, not so red at the time. What the fuck? You know, I think you shouldn't be blaming yourself for his dishonesty. It is quite literally not your fault. Nobody can go through this ordeal expecting to be crossed at every given moment, especially by those we trust the most. That would be a pretty miserable existence, don't you think? I'm not equipped to unpack all that right now, sorry. Besides, I have no cash on me for that therapy session you're pushing for, Dr. Conroy. Wait, his Podrick's last name is Conroy, or first name is that his real name, Conroy? His smile is a little wry, but not hostile at all. You know, thinking about it, we've been hunting down my sire for 4 nights, and I realize I know jack shit about yours. Care to share a bit? In the spirit of this painfully awkward moment? He keeps quiet for a little while. Frankly, I can't tell you much about them because I don't know myself. What do you mean? I simply don't know who embraced me. He clears his throat and hesitates while I fight the urge to dig deeper. It's a faint memory now, but I remember almost dying towards the end of World War II, somewhere along the Western Front, I think. And then I remember crawling out of a pile of corpses the next night. That's all. Wait. Podrick, he was in World War II? He was fighting on the Western Front? Oh, I like this intrigue. He's old then, if it's 2024. That guy is, he was probably 20 or something in World War II, which is like 1945, so 80 years more basically. So he's 100 years old, damn. I assumed I was embraced by a fellow soldier, but there's really no way to confirm. Hadrick, I'm so sorry. I pat him awkwardly on the shoulder and he nods, looking not at me but at his lucky ring. I've come to terms with it, but I appreciate the sentiment. We sit in silence a bit longer. There aren't many people around, but the city still feels alive, bustling even at 3 in the morning in late December. The air between us is a little tense. Probably shouldn't have prodded about his sire, but, well, I'm me. Thought Conroy was just a nickname. It could be. I mean, I thought Patty was a nickname, but Kaiser kept calling him Conroy, my boy. Conroy. I don't know. I scramble for a new topic and remember we haven't finished discussing our latest scoop from the circulatory system's database. So, what I can't wrap my head around is why someone like Payne, a big shot Ventru, would go to such lengths to avoid buying blood through the company he partially owns. He needs to keep something off the record then. Is he like trying to back out, tank their stock on purpose, or what? Or maybe he's plotting to start his own gig. Hard to see how with all that Ventru red tape, but maybe? Could he be setting up Renard as his go-to supplier, or is that stretching it too much? No. He probably needed something off the books. That's it. You know? Indeed. That does seem like a stretch. It's an audacious, almost disrespectful move, not really Payne's way of doing things, especially when he's trying to upset Panhard. Usurp. Usurp. Why else would he do that? Foyle did say he was buying spiked blood from Renard. That's oddly specific. Maybe that particular type wasn't available through the circulatory system. I mean, all blood bags are spiked. That's the only way they stay edible. One of the reasons why the resident Duskborn alchemist had so much shit to do all the time in our gang. Oh, I guess, yeah, blood bags, you have to do something to keep them fresh. I thought you just threw them in the freezer or something and thawed them. Podrick hums thoughtfully, slowly spinning his ring. Man, he's making me want one of those rings. And that belt is really cool because it has like the comedy tragedy face. He's such a, they definitely did a cool character design with Podrick. Well, I am stumped, but hopefully we can find a way to use that information to your advantage when we face the council. You mean like exposing Payne as a fraud right in front of everyone? Damn, Conroy, that's some serious badassery for you. It would be badassery if we had any evidence of these suspicions, which we, unfortunately, do not. I deflate a little, clicking my tongue. Yep. Yeah, I guess that's an obstacle. And how does Ritra fit into all this? The ever-elusive mistress of the Hudson River. Think we could dangle her as bait before the council? Podrick stills and stiffens, spinning the dice ring as fast as his hands allow. Fuck, I forgot he's so irrationally terrified of her. I'm grasping at straws, I know, but everyone's freaked out by her. I'm not saying Renard usually shies away from tough cases, but there's so many easier targets to scam. It's all fucked up. I don't get any of it. I don't understand either. He so doesn't want to talk about her. Fine. I'll let him off the hook this time. The weight of tonight's events is starting to crush me, and maintaining this upbeat mask is draining anyways. Thankfully, this time it's Podrick who breaks the awkward silence. Tonight marks the last night in the grace period Kadir gave you. All our leads have dried up. It is unlikely we would find anything else of use anyway. I think we have enough circumstantial proof to clear your name in the eyes of the council. We could trade it for your freedom. You mean for a longer leash? They won't clear me unless I hand over Renard, and we both know it. Sure, we have some solid clues, but they're just that. The way that Camarilla treated me, well, I'm not exactly optimistic about returning empty-handed. Best case scenario, they order me to stay in the city and give me another impossible task. Worst case scenario, Kadir takes my head clean off my shoulders. And I don't even know where that leaves you. Technically, you are just supposed to keep an eye on me, but I guess you're vaguely in Podrick's size, defeated. Yeah. He squints at the starless sky. There's still time until sunrise, but I doubt we'll find anyone at Elysium tonight. He gives me a careful once-over, doubt and pity clear as stars in his eyes. Do you have a safe place to stay the day? You're welcome at my haven if needed. The couch should still be there, I believe. I crack a faint smile. Should still be there, huh? Good thing you didn't get into sales, because you wouldn't sell shit. I have some options, I guess. I've only used a couple of our safe houses around New York so far. I don't know. Can I catch up with you later or something? I need some time to think. On my own. He looks at me for a long while, tilting his head hesitantly. while his spidery fingers slowly spin his dice ring, and then he just stops and nods curtly. Take your time. I'll wait for you until dawn. I chuckled disbelievingly, unable to keep just a little bit of bitterness creeping into my voice. What if I skip town or something, taking advantage of your misguided generosity? I don't think you will. You haven't thus far, have you? He stands looking down at me intently. I still believe we can turn this Titanic around before it crashes into the iceberg. We just need to get a hold of the steering wheel. He gives my shoulder a reassuring pat and strides off into the night, leaving me to my ruminations. Alright, what is this saying? Feeding opportunity? Ooh, in Chinatown. I might do that one. Blood and cigarettes detour. I don't know what to do anymore. Thinking is a dead end, but clearing my head seems equally out of reach. I've got to at least try to get my shit together, or I might as well cut off my head. Blood and cigarettes? Same river thrice. If I hit an astronomical level of bad luck, crashing at Patrick's once more will probably turn me into a sorry pile of ash he'll have to sweep up at sundown, like with a broom. But after all the crap we found out about Renard, I honestly couldn't care less. I'm gonna do some munching. It seems like my bar has filled up halfway. Podrick disappears another night, probably heading to his haven. But I decide to tempt fate and stay out just a little longer even though dawn is creeping up on me. But I'm hungry, like seriously starving, and I can't ignore the void inside me howling for a taste of blood. There's gotta be someone around to satisfy my cravings. It's not like the place is crawling with mortals, but there are at least some people out. Most of them seem to be half asleep, braving the awful weather to get to their morning shifts on time. Some of them are just returning from somewhere wobbly and slow on the icy sidewalks. But none of them will do. Luring just one away from the group is far too much effort when I could just nab someone alone elsewhere. There is a middle-aged woman setting up a tiny hole-in-the-wall coffin shop. It would be so easy to sneak in and out without anybody noticing, including the victim herself. A guy's leaning out of a second-story window in a nice secluded alley, having a drag. Perhaps he's hiding this foul habit from his family, since the apartment's still dark. Climbing up and taking a bite would be a piece of cake. I even spot someone napping at a bus stop, bundled up in warm clothes and curled up in the corner, safe from the wind and snow. If I played my cards right, I can make it look like we're just cuddling while giving them the real kiss. Nobody would care, not in such a bustling city. But I'm sure there's even easier prey to be found. This area is really pretty lively for this time of night. Now that I think about it, it's a little bit too lively. And I'm pretty sure that couple over there has been tailing me for the past half hour. I swear, every time. Am I just fighting hunters every time? Muggers, hunters, or just a coincidence? Honestly, I've had it up to here with danger looming over my head these past few nights. And even though taking risks is in my vitae, I don't think I can afford it tonight. Sunrise is only hours away. Geez, so I'm not even going to be able to eat. Do I roach? I'm gonna, I feel like I'm just gonna confront them head on. Yeah, let's do that. Well, just gonna have to talk some sense into them. If they're muggers, I'll deal with them in no time. If they're hunters, same difference. But if they really are here to stake me, I should take some precautions, I guess. Hunters attack in groups, like the rats they are. Yeah, Kali better whoop them. I hope she does. I hope they're not hunters. Or maybe they're just dudes who want to hit on me or something. So I continue strolling around until we are in a nice, secluded place. Then I turn on my heel, cross my arms, and give my stalkers a big, warm smile. They look at each other hesitantly and then pull out stakes from their jackets. Ah, yeah, they are hunters. Hunters, god fucking damn it. I'm so fucking tired of those lunatics, but I can eat them, right? No time to waste. Offense is the best defense, after all. I dispose of the woman easily, but I'm careful not to kill her. No time to hide the body tonight. I dive under the stake she's raising and drive my elbow straight into her solar plexus. She screams with pain and doubles over, dropping the stake. Amateur. One more hit, a gentler one to the temple, and she's out like a candle, crumpled onto the snow. Meanwhile, the other hunter hesitates, glancing back and forth between his unconscious companion and me, his Adam apples bobbing nervously. Something dark and desperate flashes in his eyes, and I'm sure he's going to attack me like a savage, but instead he purposefully drops the stake, then slowly drops to his knees, taking off his scarf, opening his jacket, loosening the collar of his sweater, tilting his head, showing me his neck while silently begging me with his eyes. Kiss me, please. Oh, that's convenient. Food that shows up for you. Well, that's new. I've heard about mortals who crave the kiss like parched men yearn for water, but I've never seen one before, especially one who's masquerading as a... Hold on. Did he become a hunter just so he had a higher chance of actually stumbling onto one of us? Man, that's fucked up. I don't really know what to do about him, especially when he's staring at me, eyes bright and full of yearning. You just give it to him. I mean, it's a win-win. He needs his kiss, and I'm hungry. I need that food. I approach him slowly and see him shiver with anticipation. Oh yeah, he likes it. His eyes flutter closed when I take him gently by the jaw, caressing his flushed cheeks. I lower my lips to his ear, jawline, and finally his neck. Feed. Kiss yearning hunter. Yeah. We're doing it. As I open my mouth, he pants, tense and excited, letting out a disgusting moan when I sink my fangs straight into his skin. I know beggars can't be choosers, but fucking hell, I need a shower after this. I drink my fill, careful not to overdo it. When he starts to slowly black out, releasing his grip on my clothes, body growing limp and heavy in my grasp, that's when I stop. Reluctantly, I might add. But then again, he's a walking pantry. Killing him would be a waste, wouldn't it? I leave the hunter in a heap on the ground and scrub my hands with the snow to make myself feel slightly better about my choices. It doesn't really work, but no matter. I'll probably forget all about it by the time I get to a haven. Speaking of which, I gotta hurry. The sun is this close to peeking over the horizon. Yeah, it was a good choice to confront them. Dawn's a-comin'. Yeah, and my bar went down. Alright, do I want to... Screw it. I guess I'll stay at Podrick's place a second time. Yeah, that seems to be the bet. Like, probably the safest option. I've been trying to get my shit together for the last hour just walking these damn streets of New York. Spoiler alert, it's not working. I don't even know why I told Podrick to leave me alone. I usually keep people close to stop my brain from going to dark places. Turns out, too much me time just lets the shitty feelings take over. She's an overthinker. And the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other doesn't soothe the anger, the hurt, and the betrayal. These emotions cling to me like leeches, refusing to let go. All that crap, the gestures, the pep talks, our gigs making me think we had a bond. Fucking lies. All of it. It just hurts. So yeah, I'm still a mess inside, my gritted teeth keeping the dry tears at bay. Right now, I'd seriously rather chew off my own tongue than give Renard the satisfaction of hearing me sob. Fuck all that. Every part of me is screaming for some kind of release, some justice. I even have this crazy urge to just smash anything about me that reminds me of Renard. But honestly, what would even be left of me? If that dickhead's already met his final death, I swear to God, if I could find his ashes, I'd spit on them. Shit. Who am I kidding? I'm such a pathetic loser, I'd probably forgive him in a second if he came back, even if he doesn't give a damn. Christ. This sucks so much. But, It doesn't matter. The dawn's coming up fast and it's time to settle down for the day. And I could use some company, even if it means potentially screwing myself over by crashing twice in the same place so soon. A shred of clarity returns to my mind eventually. I find myself glaring at Patrick's haven across the street, my hands still trembling from the shitstorm of emotion I'm barely keeping under control. I know I shouldn't be here, shouldn't be risking my ass, but right now, I'm so over everything that I seriously don't give a fuck. Knock gently. I lift my hand and tap on the door softly. The noise is so faint it's almost lost in the night. Suddenly, the door creaks open and there's Podrick with an armful of books. He moves quickly, letting me into the safety of his haven. Come in. Sun's about to rise. Everything is exactly where it should be. Nothing out of place, not even the couch. You didn't oversell it. The couch is definitely still here. I guess it's far too old to sprout legs and walk off. He grins at me, a bit too confident in the quality of his jokes. I know it's not stylish, but I'm quite fond of it, nevertheless. Let's say it's charmingly dilapidated. Would you rather use the bed tonight? It wouldn't be any... I throw my hand up and immediately cut him off. No, that's okay. Just making sure we won't find ourselves in the infamous only one bed situation. Podrick tilts his head, an unspoken question hanging in the air. I mean, you're into all that bookish stuff, I thought. Never mind, it's nothing. Believe me. He nods and goes back to whatever he was sorting on his shelves. I take that as my cue to slip away to the corner of the couch. I'm too tired to speak, which is rare for me. I shut my eyes briefly, fingers tapping restlessly on my legs. It's a futile effort to calm the lingering irritation. My movements only seem to stir it up more. Care to share what's on your mind? Your thoughts are so loud, they practically blend in with my voices. No rest for the wicked, huh? Just going through my list of excuses for tomorrow night. Because, I'd like to keep my head where it is. Are you thinking of anything in particular? Ritra. I know you're worried about even bringing up Ritra, but I'm fucking desperate here. And I'm ready to throw out any fake-ass sabbat bullshit that'll cling to her even the slightest bit. Podrick fiddles with his ring when I drop Ritra's name. I think about backing down, but he begins to speak. Mentioning Ritra is a dangerous move. You know how contentious she is to the council. I strongly advise against it. Yeah, fuck my unlife. A relentless barrage of curses runs through my mind, clouding my judgment with a flood of raw emotion. Fear. Ooh. The background noise of shifting books and fluttering pages stops, and the couch sinks with the added weight right next to me. The council doesn't have a stellar track record lately when it comes to making rational decisions. However, the web of your size connections is extensive, which absolves you of direct involvement. The council has no reason to put you down. His tone is soothing, yet decisive. What happened is not your fault, Kali. I'll stand by you tomorrow. That's a promise. Oh. I must look like a hot mess, because Podrick's expression is one of concern. His brow creased, lips parted, eyes searching mine. Ooh. He pauses, assessing the moment before carefully invading my personal space. Oh, we got it. We're in, boys and girls. He's making a move. A flicker of total surprise crosses my face before I can mask it. His hand moves behind me, and I hear a soft click as he clasps something in his hand. Oh, snap. I almost forgot. You'll make better use of them. Confused, I look down to see what he's handed me. Batteries? From my trusty old Walkman that's been a paperweight for the last 3 nights? It's such a nice gesture. But instead of joy, there's this sad twist in my gut. Oh, she was trying to get some. Yeah. I also thought he was making a move. It feels pointless, like all of it. Right now, picking a tune feels as grim as choosing my last meal. Are you sure you're alright? Nope, I'm a mess. Yeah, everything's fine, thanks. I guess I'm not really in the mood for music right now, but I really appreciate the thought. I manage a shaky smile, my voice quivering a bit. He nods, totally gets that I need some space, and gives me room to breathe. I flop down on the couch, totally wiped. I shove 2 batteries into the Walkman and the rest into my belt bag. Then my hand brushes against the wooden stake, its gritty texture just another shitty reminder of the end I've been dodging night after night. I grip it as if it could scrub away the mix of anger, desperation, and fear brewing like a storm in my chest. I've handled storms before, but this one? It's dark, man. Really dark. Creeping into every freaking corner, or every freaking shadowy corner of my brain and just sticking there. I grip the stake even harder as the all too familiar darkness slowly descends upon my mind. Interesting. Earlier that night, ooh, we're doing a flashback. Oh. Oh, she's got a very plastic face. When you talk about cleansing New York from the so-called rot underneath, Mr. Fletcher, is this a part of your elaborate campaign to position yourself in the incoming mayoral election? It's not about political ambition. It's about addressing issues that have been neglected for far too long. New York is facing challenges that can't be solved by traditional governance alone. I'm talking about deep, systemic problems that require unconventional approaches. Unconventional, like claiming you have, quote, enough manpower to clean up the entire city. What exactly does that entail? Because to our viewers, it sounds just like a threat of vigilante justice. What I mean by manpower is having the right team with the right skills and dedication. It's not about taking the law into our own hands. It's about supporting the city in ways the current infrastructure can't. But what are these deep systemic problems you're so eager to fight? You're being rather vague, Mr. Fletcher. Let's just say there are threats to this city that aren't as visible or as easily quantified as crime rates or economic data. They're far more insidious. And while I can't divulge the specifics, I assure you that you won't have to wait long to see the results of our initiative. Who's this guy, Aaron Fletcher? Isn't he the Ventrue dude? Mr. Fletcher, with all due respect, it all sounds like the plot of a science fiction novel. How do you expect the public to take you seriously when you speak in riddles? I understand the skepticism. I'm a stalwart believer in transparency, and in due time, everything will be made clear. Right now, it's about laying the groundwork for a safer, stronger New York. Let's be frank. Your narrative is stirring more confusion and concern than confidence. Are you really suggesting there's a hidden danger so severe that it requires a controversial character like you to step in and save the day? It's not about me playing the hero, no. It's simply about tackling issues that have been overlooked for longer than... I'm sorry, Mr. Fletcher, but we're out of time. Thank you for joining us here today. But, This just in, folks. The Times Square Ball's new color for this New Year's Eve will be announced very soon, and I'm sure many of you have been waiting for... Interesting. Hold on for a sec. Okay, there we go. My headphones stopped playing through the left ear, but I just had to unplug it and plug it back in. Yes, and the night. Night 5. December 2024, 3 nights till New Year. All right, and I am going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Okay, I am back and had to change headphones. Yeah. Doo-doo. Gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Let me get right back into it. Ooh, I love that soundtrack though. Really glad I played Non-Existence of You and I early on and was able to find that soundtrack. All right, hopping back in. Usually the first thing that hits me when I blink awake is that boundless black void staring at me the same way I stare into its perfect nothingness. It disappears in a beat, and all I'm left with is this nagging thought I missed something important. Hmm. No, that's just anxiety. If you wake up and you're like, oh, I slept through something, I missed something. I never wake up groggy. I'm wired as soon as the sun dips, like I've been faking sleep all day. Not this night, though. Hmm. Tonight, exhaustion floods in, overwhelming me like a tsunami. I feel buried alive, suffocated under the weight of the murky water. I can't spend another day in Podrick's Haven. Staying here 2 nights in the same week is really pushing it. Not that I'm counting on having the chance to, given what's in my schedule. I thought I was going to stay here. That's what I was planning to do. Okay. Strangely, I'm kind of getting used to this pad. It's no Ritz, but it's got this vibe of safety that I'm low-key desperate for. Podrick's up already, and I hate to admit it, but having him around isn't as awful as I initially thought. He's just there, lost in the gritty view of the Bronx, playing with his ring like he always does when something's bugging him. I take a quick look past him at the murky, starless sky. Then a memory crashes in, uninvited. It wasn't long after my embrace, like about a year ago. We had this wild gig out in Nevada. Nothing to get sentimental about, but we were road tripping in 2 RVs, me and Renard in the lead, the rest of our gang tailing us. Completely out of nowhere, Renard grabs the wheel and veers us straight into the desert, leaving the others far behind. We come to a stop in no time. Renard's already bouncing out and scaling the RV to get to the roof, but I'm like, what the actual hell? He just pulls me up there with him. And wow, just wow. This absolute darkness with a sky so thick with stars it can make anyone feel dizzy. I swear to God. I could have kept on loving that life, drifting from state to state with my gang, my family. But everything's gone to hell because of Renard. So why do I have to be the one paying for his shit? And why can't I even bring myself to hate him? I pound my fists into the couch. Dust swirls up from the cushions, floating eerily in the dim candlelight. Let's go. They're probably waiting for us already. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah, there's no point dragging this out and pissing them off even more. Nothing to do but get my shit together and pray that Lady Luck has my back. Still, it's hard for me to move. It's like I'm glued to the couch. The silence fills the room with all that is unspoken, then his voice, soft and almost imperceptible, cuts through the veil. Listen. Here comes the pity party. If you're going to start with that, Holly, calm down and hear me out. Just this once without interrupting. The shift in tone, it's enough to make me zip my lip, which says a lot. Look, I can't promise you a rosy outcome. No pep talk either. You're too clever for that. What I can promise is that I'll be there for you, and do my best to convince the council to let you go. I just nod, kind of dazed. His words, so raw and sincere, anchor me to this moment more than ever, providing a strange sort of comfort. So, are you ready? Not really, but yeah, let's just go. Yeah. We gotta do what you gotta do. We head to the perfectly serviceable car in silence. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna miss this old clunker and Podrick's bizarre attachment to it. I shut the door behind me and slump into the seat, too anxious to fill the silence with my usual ramblings. Bad omens. Catching up with my favorite council at Elysium tonight. I'm scared shitless, but there's nothing to be done about it. I gotta march right into the lion's den. I just hope Podrick stands by me like he said he would. Yep, I guess we gotta do it. We drive mostly in silence, which suits me just fine. Guess there's not much left unsaid at this point, and really not much I want to talk about either. Podrick pulls up a few blocks shy of the Elysium and parks in an alleyway shadowed by half-finished apartment buildings. It looks truly desolate. Why are we stopping here? The art hole is a couple blocks down. A little walk might do us good. Clear the cobwebs a little. What do you say? I just nod. Not like walking's gonna change a damn thing, but maybe it'll help me steel my nerves for whatever's waiting at the end of this trek. The walk is quiet. Just the crunch of snow underfoot and the looming skeletons of buildings around us, their empty window frames like open mouths howling at the city. They remind me of dead trees, all hollow and eerie as shit. Feels like I'm a character in some cheesy horror movie who gets a particularly shitty kind of afterlife. Is this a construction zone? The irony isn't lost on me. Deep in my gloomy thoughts, I almost miss the sound of heated voices from one of the sites. Who the fuck does construction at this hour? Podrick's face grows even more serious than normal. Any stonier, and they're gonna canonize him as the patron saint of grumpiness. This way. He tugs me kind of forcefully next to a fence and motions for me to take a closer look at the source of the noise. He's fidgeting with his ring again, which is never a good sign. Peeking out, I see three, probably mortals in beat-up clothes, chatting animatedly like they're plotting something. Great. A bunch of thieves, just idiots, betting who can haul off a T-bar. Big deal. T-bar? I've never heard that before. Let's keep moving. Hanging around here isn't exactly helping me. I'm not sure they're just thieves, Kali. As he says that, I catch a glimpse of a handgun peeking out from one of the guys' belts. My eyes narrow, searching out more details. They're tense, ready to snap. And one dude? He's wearing what damn well looks like a Kevlar vest under his jacket. They could be undercover, maybe DEA on a stakeout? I doubt they're the feds either. You think? Hunters. Probably a scouting party. This close to Elysium? Ugh. We spy on them when the scratchy sound of a radio cuts the silence short. I can't hear the words, but they immediately dash into the building, their steps echoing up the stairs. I look over Podrick, his fingers busy twirling his ring like it's got answers. Who knows? Maybe it does. So do I. Let's go after them. I'm not sure. Oh please, you've already made up your mind. Your face screams conundrum loud and clear. Right. I have a bad feeling about this. We should uncover what they're up to. I nod and head towards the building. My every move cautious and calculated. Podrick follows, silent as the grave. We zip up 10, 12, 15 floors in a blink, tailing the hunters, melding into the shadows as we go. The higher we climb, the louder the wind howls, whistling through the unfinished windows. Soon we come to a vast open area that's still under construction, and swiftly crouch behind a half-finished wall. The three hunters we followed are joined by a few others, one clutching a radio and posing like he's the boss. I take a quick look around to get the lay of the land, and that is a lot of stairs. 15 floors? Man, that is, whew. Holy shit. Quiet. Scattered among the wires and building tools, there's a brightly lit table piled with maps and battered laptop displaying a stream of text. Commands, probably. There's military equipment everywhere. Assault rifles, Kevlar vests, night vision goggles, and notably, a massive sniper rifle on a bipod pointed at the street below. I lower my voice to a whisper. We need to get the hell out of here now. If this is sad, if there are more of them, they are not the feds, I'm telling you. They are well equipped, but all of this screams paramilitary to me. Ooh. Maybe like, yeah. Interesting. So what's our play? He rises slowly, tense as a predator, ready to pounce. Stay low. It'll only take a moment. In a flash, Podrick darts towards the nearest hunter. A gruesome crunch echoes as he smashes that man's head. The rest snap out of their daze, moving sluggishly as if in slow motion, but Podrick is already whispering something under his breath. I catch maybe half the words escaping his mouth, all of them mundane, direct, normal, but every single one of them makes me want to dunk my head underwater to escape their soft, incessant onslaught. I do the next best thing and just cover my ears, thinking about the best steps to be taken. Unseen passage. I should help him. Yeah, let's do that. I let the crisp, wintry air wrap around me, enveloping my body head to toe, making the hunter's glances slide off me like I miss cellophane. Once I'm fully hidden, I scan the room quickly to size up the situation. Podrick flings the bloody body of one of the hunters through the air, knocking 2 of his companions down. Scores 3 with 1 throw. Impressive. That's 4 down, but where's the last one? The room falls silent, the threat seemingly under control for the moment. Podrick is on an adrenaline rush and barely notices his surroundings. I dart across the room and spot the final hunter crouched behind a pillar, taser at the ready, poised to strike. I sneak up silently, and just as she jumps out to attack, I knock her arm upwards, directing the taser towards her face. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. The needles fire with a sharp click, burrowing under her own skin. The electricity sending her into convulsions. She collapses, losing her grip on the weapon. I press my boot onto her neck and hold just in case. Podrick comes over, still pumped from the fight as I step out of the shadows. I told you to stay back. Oh, screw that. I'm not just sitting back while you hog all the action. He smirks slightly, but there's little joy on his face. The flicker of the laptop screen on the table catches our attention. But that's not the real prize. It's the pile of documents spread across the table, blueprints and maps aggressively annotated with a Sharpie. A closer look reveals a very detailed layout of the art hole and its immediate surroundings. Podrick and I lean over the table, exchanging wary glances. Damn, they mapped out everything. They know the art hole inside and out, down to the last screw. Seems like they have been at this for weeks. Suddenly, through a gap in the wall, I spot some movement on the roof of the building next door. I might have overlooked if not for the flashlight beam slicing through the darkness. I spring into action, grab the sniper rifle propped by the window. Sweeping the gun from side to side, I peer through the scope, surveying the entire neighborhood. What do you see? Hunters. Loads of them. All over the fucking shop. Several other surveillance squads are spread out around us, all focusing on Elysium, forming a tight net, effectively sealing off the art hole's perimeter. Jesus, it's completely surrounded. Every damn corner is swarming with hunters. I jerk away from the scope, which clatters against the rough windowsill. What the hell do we do now? We must alert the council immediately. This is... Just then, the crackle of a walkie-talkie cuts through the tension. I snatch it up, straining to hear the faint voices through the static. All units, take your positions. Lightbringer, confirm your spot. We move on your signal. It's harvest time, brothers and sisters. Let's let the drive out the darkness. Over. All hands on deck. Let's teach these fucking leeches a lesson. Over. I glance at Podrick, but he's frozen in place, completely shell-shocked. Don't just stand there. Damn it, move. We bolt from the building. It takes me a good minute of a high-speed sprint before I realize I'm still clutching the walkie-talkie. Not a single hunter along the way. It's like Lady Luck smiling on us. Or maybe it's Podrick's voices who are leading us unscathed around all the patrols. We reach the entrance of Elysium in no time. I'm fixated on the door, noticing the red thermal light is off. A good sign that there's no immediate danger. Suddenly, I'm shoved aside. I land hard on my ass just in time to see one of Valerie's thugs blocking the door. The hell you think you're doing? You went on my say-so. Podrick reaches down to help me up. but I'm already on my feet, driven by pure unbridled rage. Get the fuck out of my way. I try to push past him, but he's like a brick wall, stubborn, immovable fucking object. What's your fucking problem? You go in when I... Before he could finish, a fist with glittering rings lands squarely on his face, smashing him back against the wall. I shoot Podrick a look. He's fuming. Perfect. We exchange a glance and charge into the art hole, my caretaker hot on my heels. Our entrance stops the incessant debating dead in its tracks. Jaws hit the floor, eyes widen, but the only thing I really notice is the murderous look the sheriff throws our way. I nearly trip over my own feet, but somehow regain my balance and end up on my knees. The quick glance tells me the room hasn't changed much since my last visit, except for the notable absence of the Anarch Baron. What on earth is this intrusion? You can't possibly... This is hardly an appropriate entrance for one whose fate is so precarious, Ravnus. All they need to do is listen, just fucking listen. The hunt... Kadir, shall we just skip the trial? She's obviously courting final death here. Everyone just shut the hell up for 1 second. They obviously have a reason. Esteemed counsel, please, you must listen to... I feel a harsh grip on my arm, wrenching it back painfully. Can't they just shut up for one? You both are going to regret this. What are your plans for dealing with this sheriff? In my domain, unacceptable. Valerie sees them. Enough. His voice slices through the chaos, commanding instant silence. Podrick seizes the moment to push Valerie's thug off me, none too gently. The sheriff lets the moment linger, soaking it up until the last whisper dies down. Then he holds it a bit longer before breaking it like a vow. You've let your raven fly, Conroy. His words carry the weight of impending doom, heavy with promised violence. You'd better have a good reason for this disruption. Exceptionally good. Would we storm in here, Sheriff? It's... The hunters. There's a swarm of them, armed to the teeth. They're advancing on Elysium. We saw them. My shouts bounce off the walls, and suddenly everyone's too stunned to speak. The silence drags on and on. Should this prove to be yet another one of your schemes, Raven, I swear... This is preposterous. There's simply no conceivable way that... You're all just completely out of your fucking minds. Just listen to her. Their ears are closed, sealed shut. They're too fucking obstinate, too damn set in their old, tired ways. It's nothing but endless prattle with them, the constant yapping of those drunk on their own authority, blind, so deliberately blind to the actual dangers lurking beyond. We're screwed, every last one of us. Lightbringer. The BFB is ready for launch. Countdown imminent. Over. Did the man name this fucking thing or what? Podrick gives me a look, eyeing the walkie-talkie in my hand. Of course. I straighten up and slam the walkie-talkie down on their oversized, ludicrously grand table. The quarreling stops. They're all ears now, listening to the hunter comms. This is Lightbringer. We're green for launch. Initiating countdown. 10, 9... Holy shit, they're actually going to... The sheriff twitches as if breaking out of suspended animation. Understanding blooms on his face like blood on broken skin. Evacuate the premises now. Everyone, go. Go. Just like that, it finally clicks for them. But it's already too late. 6. 5. I bolt, no idea where to, just following the mob in some desperate hope that... 3. 2. The last image seared into my memory is Podrick's face, just before 1. Oh. Must be like a flashbang or something. Ooh, cutscene. We'll move that over. Okay. A desert rave. Flames licking the sky like a cosmic joke. I dance as if the fire could burn away the fringes of my expanding self. But ash is just the ghost of fire. Ellipses. Those moments are so distant now, a festival of fire and freedom. What does a kindred seek in the flames? Redemption? Destruction? Or reckoning? Reality, dark as the blood I crave yet shun. It tastes like metal, like rust. Clack, clack, clack. Like fire, like survival. The game we all play, all but flies. Lips bleeding. Oh, those are guns. Title drop. Indeed. Here now, surrounded by the fire of my own disconnection. Pixels of dark, dark, oh so very dark web. Every bite a story of deception, every link a chain to another false promise. The digital haze, impenetrable, but even codes have their breakpoints. As do I. Golly. His voice, serpent slick, sugar-coated daggers wrapped in velvet, maker of my illusions, the puppeteer, dangling me on a string of silken lies, but aren't we all mirrors of our own deceits, reflecting back the lies we've so carefully curated, a firestorm of half-truths and whole falsehoods? So what are we, if not the secrets we keep? Golly! I am here. I am still here. What? Run! I remember now. Oh shit. Podrick's urgent pull on my arm jolts me from my trance. He's hauling me away from the remains of what once stood as the jewel in the crown of New York's Camarilla. Elysium is now just a husk, its grandeur swallowed by ferocious flames that smother the desperate screams of those who fled the havoc. Thick smoke spirals into the night sky, fiercely tearing at the air around it. I could stand here for hours, watching the whole place turn to ash. Holly, snap out of it! Clack, clack, clack. The sudden close sound of gunfire serves as a brutal wake-up call. Yeah. We launch into a mad sprint. Podrick is slightly ahead, gripping my hand way too tightly. He looks mostly unscathed, just a few scratches here and there. A stinging pain in my cheek finally registers. I run my fingers over it and find a deep gash, but aside from that, I seem to be okay too. We pass by Arturo, who is half carrying a barely conscious Prince Panhard. He shoots us a hateful glare before sprinting off. The sharp rattle of an assault rifle echoes just behind them. A few bullets whiz by, damn near grazing my ear. We're about to duck around the next corner when our luck runs out. A hunter barely a few feet away levels his rifle at us. Goddamn abominations! I recognize him. He's the sole survivor from that mob that went after the serpents. Sansera gave him a fucking grenade and a decisive order to set it off at his headquarters. A miracle he didn't blow himself to hell. He hesitates, lowering his gun slightly. I know y'all. You're goddamn leeches. I remember you. Podrick crouches, fangs bared, poised to strike at any moment. I mirror his stance, ready to spring. What you did to me, you witch. You had me craving, searching for your kind, begging. He snaps the rifle up, now aiming right between my eyes, following my movements closely. But I held back. I resisted. You don't own me. My brain's in overdrive, seething, every fiber of my being just itching to see his blood. Not even to drink it, but to shred and tear and make him watch his own heart thump one last time in my hand. Yeah, let's scare him. I fix my eyes on him and snarl, channeling all my fury. I can almost hear his heart miss a beat, but he forces down the panic. He clutches his weapon like a lifeline, using it as a barrier between us, and holds his ground. Y'all are nothing but sick, twisted monsters. We're gonna scrub the world clean of your filth. His words turn into a choked gurgle as a curved blade cleaves him in two, slicing from neck to guts as smoothly as cutting through butter. His weapon falls to the ground with a metallic clang. One side of his body flops over first, then the rest of the hunter hits the snow, blood spewing out of out like a macabre fountain, and at last we see his executioner. Ooh, Kadir. He has a curved sword, very nice. Kadir. I lift my eyes, his blood-streaked face is horrifying, anger etched deep, his bared fangs elongated. He looks right through me, as if I'm just another body to slash through, tear apart, or crush like a spoiled apple. Podrick notices it too, because he steps right in front of me. We are not your enemy, Sheriff. Kadir cocks his head, as if he cannot grasp the meaning behind the words. There's a primal edge to him, an untamed frenzy that seems to feed on something dark and ravenous. And those eyes, those scary, empty eyes, they belong to the beast. Gunfire snaps all of us back to reality. Without uttering a word, Kadir leaps into an alley like a feral cat, ready to mangle anything that dares to stand in his way. The moment stretches into what feels like forever. Then Podrick taps my shoulder and nods towards Julia as she steps out of the art hole's crumbling facade while with Aisling slung over her shoulder. She hands the limp body to Valerie, who appears right behind her. Valerie hurries past us and slips into an alley. Julia, with one arm dangling uselessly, walks up to us. Are you idiots just gonna stand there? No, obviously not. The north exit's blocked, and those assholes are pushing in from the Bronx. Conroy, do you know about our safe spot in Greenpoint? I don't think so, no. We only hear the thundering boom a moment after the ground between us explodes in a shower of debris. Frantically, we scan our surroundings for the shooter to no avail. Ooh. Hold on. I am going to take another quick break. I will be back in a minute. Sorry about that. Here we go. Julia. Fuck. We need to split up. You two make for Williamsburg. Someone will pick you up there. Yeah, Julia's pretty cool. Move it, now. She vanishes into the shadows, leaving only the fading sound of her footsteps. Another loud explosion rumbles and a gunshot cracks as we attempt to sneak away from our hiding spot. That's when I spot the shooter, betrayed by a stray glint from their scope, perched on a rooftop down the street, prepping their next shot. But it never comes. Instead, a dog appears out of thin air and lunges at the sniper. Its jaws clamp onto their neck, throwing them off balance. They stumble and fall off the roof. And just as suddenly, the dog is gone. Holy fuck. Did you just see that? I did. It might have been a gangrel, although, let's think about that later. Gangrel. Often closer to beasts than other vampires, the gangrel style themselves apex predators. These ferals prowl the wilds as easily as the urban jungle, and no clan of vampires can match their ability to endure, survive, and thrive in any environment. Often fiercely territorial, their shape-shifting abilities give even the undead pause. The clan of the beast, animals, ferals, barbarians, outcasts, wolves, strays. Okay, interesting. Yeah, each vampire clan has kind of their speciality. Without wasting any more time, we duck into the dark alleys. Anything to get away from this madness. The relentless echo of gunfire fades, now replaced by the distant, mournful wail of police sirens. Yeah, that must be really hard as a hunter to explain to the police, like, what you were doing. Especially if, like, when you kill a vampire, they just turn into, like, ash. Ooh, yeah, that would be very difficult to explain. As we move, my instincts kick in hard, prompting me to sweep the rooftops, windows, and alleyways for threats. There's no immediate danger. Actually, the streets are eerily deserted, as if everyone could sense the looming peril. But the air is still thick with tension. We should get moving. Yeah. We run in silence. Podrick and I, our movements synchronized as though we'd rehearsed this escape countless times. We're supposed to be the predators of the night, and now here we are, the prey, driven by the fear of being hunted. Echoes of agonizing screams still haunt my ears. I can't tell if they're real or just figments of my imagination. As we sprint through a seemingly safe alley, the faint smell of burning gasoline hits my nose. The smell intensifies when we round the corner, mingling with the fading glow of a fire in a trash can. Then I trip, sprawling face first into the slush. I push myself up and see that my hands are coated in a mix of melted snow, dirt, and blood. I look up, eyes adjusting to the dim light. The alley is strewn with bodies, hunters, judging by their gear. It's deathly quiet. Shit. It's like a grinder ran through them. Who? I do not know, but we need to find another way. Something's not right here. That's when I hear a strained grunt, then an ominous whoosh through the air. I glance up just in time to see a Molotov cocktail flying straight at us from a window above. Podrick, focused on the carnage around us, doesn't see it coming. Oh, fuck. Time crawls to a stop. Ooh, do I try and catch a Molotov cocktail midair? I mean, yeah, it's just like a glass bottle, right? It's not, like, worst case you light your hand or self on fire and have to stop, drop, and roll. I squat down, then explode upward with all my strength, hurling myself toward the incoming bottle. Out of the corner of my eye, I catch Podrick's shocked expression, his eyes wide in alarm. My fingers stretch out, desperately trying to grab the slick surface of the glass. The burning cloth grazes my skin, the heat is excruciating, and I bite back a scream. At last, I catch hold of the bottle. Still airborne, I spin and throw the Molotov right back at the hunter. His face twists in terror as he stumbles backward into the building. A fatal error. The sound of breaking glass is quickly followed by flames bursting forth from the window, and the hunter's screams fill the air. I land roughly on my back, the icy, grubby snow numbing the burn on my hand. The pungent aroma of charred flesh strikes my nostrils, permeating the alleyway within seconds. Okay. I'm gasping, trying to regain my composure. Podrick rushes over and pulls me up. Then, a piercing scream and the sound of smashing glass cuts through the silence. Another hunter tumbles out of another window and hits the ground with the crunch of broken bones. He's followed by a dark, bloodied figure that lands elegantly beside him. Oh, of course. Valerie grabs the hunter by the throat, hoisting him up before biting deeply into his neck. She drinks ravenously, her victim's body spasming under her grip until it finally goes limp. Or spasming under her grip until it finally goes limp. The last twitches fading into stillness. Valerie. She doesn't answer, still on a high from feeding. Without a word, she spins around and disappears into a nearby building. Moments later, she emerges, carrying an unconscious Aisling. Only now do I just see how bad Aisling's injuries are. She's lost the lower half of both legs, her left arm has been ripped off, and her neck is savagely torn up. She's covered in vast, ugly burns. Up close, it's horrifying. You're a natural-born distraction, little raven. Yeah, chaos always seems to find me. I sneak a peek at Podrick. He can't take his eyes off Aisling's red body, like it's digging up some traumatic memory. Valerie notices it too. She won't be waking up from torpor anytime soon, I'm afraid. Torpor. Torpor is a state where vampires are dead to their surroundings and reduced to the appearance of a shriveled corpse where they cannot use disciplines or react to other stimuli. This, however, is not final death, and they will wake in accordance with the time dictated by their humanity. Oh, so she's not dead. Just missing limbs and stuff. What happened? Is this their doing? He waves his hand around the alleyway, gesturing at the obliterated remains of the hunters. No, she happened to be at the center of the explosion alongside Addison. It's a miracle she wasn't instantly shredded. And Payne? Valerie shrugs. There's nothing left of him, though we hardly had time for a thorough search. Without another word, Valerie starts to walk away. We're headed to Williamsburg. Valerie stops briefly and looks back at us through her unkept mop of red hair. Excellent. Then she sprints off, her figure silhouetted against the flickering flames as she vanishes into the darkness. Podrick shoots me a weary glance. I just nod, too wired to chat. Come on, we have a lot of ground to cover. After a half-hour march, we take a break near an abandoned dump amid rubble and crumbling walls. I slump against a chain fence, mustering what little energy I have left, when I catch Podrick giving me a vacant stare. What's up? Got something on my face? That was sharp thinking earlier. You're quick on your feet. His compliment earns him a half smirk from me. Yeah. Try walking a mile in my boots. You'd stop second-guessing shit real fast. He chuckles and I join in. We're laughing like lunatics, the adrenaline making even this lame joke hilarious. I guess we both need a break from the endless doom. But the break is all too short. A scream from the direction of the dump shatters the calm. I recognize the voice instantly, and Podrick's grimace tells me he does too. Julia. We rush to the dump, eyes peeled for threats, and only slow down once Julia's voice becomes clear. She's swearing furiously at someone, her voice tinged with pain. Standing over Julia is a strange figure, an older man straight out of a tackier area, snug jeans, leather jacket, and a ridiculous mustache. Oddly, he's also wearing a priest's collar and holding a double-barreled shotgun. For some reason, just the sight of him sends a shiver down my spine, making me want to flee. It's a familiar terror that kind of... It's a familiar terror, the kind I felt with that North Korean missionary. That deep, all-consuming fear that fully numbs your will. Julia is sprawled on the ground, a combat knife pinning her limp arm, while the hunter's shotgun presses brutally against her throat. Despite her exhaustion, she clumsily reaches for a cigarette with her free hand. Her voice is gritty, but quivers as she speaks. Be a good sport and help me out. I've earned one last drag, at least. Oh, damn. This priest looks like a badass. He's got the shotgun. What's P for? P for P on the shotgun shell. He's got a leather jacket. And he's wearing a priest collar. Interesting. You know, those things will kill you. Hilarious. Do they teach you that wit in the seminary, or does it just come naturally? His movements are slow, calculated, almost serene as he lights Julia's cigarette for her. Something's not right about this guy. We should. Yes, but let's bide our time. The right moment will come. The hunter's presence is ridiculously oppressive. I can't even move, my limbs frozen with fear. I catch Podrick's eye and he looks rattled too as he fiddles nervously with his ring. Should I run through a comedy routine of my sins while we wait? No need. You're beyond redemption. There's no sin where there's no soul. Oh, Father, I am sinful in more ways than you can imagine. Father, I left the clergy a long time ago. Now I follow a different calling, and that has truly deepened my faith, far beyond what the Holy Sacrament could achieve. Well, isn't that a fucking relief? Julia draws deeply on her cigarette, stalling for time. Well, if there isn't a sin, then there isn't a yeah, no soul, no sin. Uh, Julia draws deeply on her cigarette, stalling for time. The hunter watches, irritation flickering across his face before he suddenly flicks the cigarette out of her hand. I pity you, creature, like so many others I've dealt with, but there's nothing that can't be cleansed with holy fire, and I have just the remedy. He opens up the shotgun and pulls a particular orange shell from his pocket, the letters DB marked clearly on its surface. Consider this an act of mercy. Save me the fucking lecture and just get on with it, will you? The hunter stands, methodically ejects the old shells from his weapon and prepares to load the orange one. I want to leap up, to shout, to stop him, but I can't. I'm paralyzed, rooted to the spot in terror. But Podrick suddenly stands, his voice cutting through the tension. You won't do it. I forbid you. The hunter stops as if struck by lightning. Shotgun only half loaded, his wild eyes locking with Podrick's determined gaze. Leave her, now. His voice booms, echoing with a thunderous authority that even I feel compelled to obey. The hunter steps back from Julia, slowly as if controlled by some unseen force. Did Podrick's command actually work? Then in one fluid motion, the hunter draws a six-shooter. The crack of gunfire shatters the eerie silence. I watch in agonizing slow motion as Podrick collapses. I'm unable to reach out and stop the inevitable. Oh, snap. Podrick just got shot. Time holds its breath, trapping me in this surreal nightmare where the only truth is the pain of seeing my friend fall. Everything fades to a blur except for that piercing ache. A rage. A raw, incandescent fury that defies all odds. Oh, I leveled up. Yeah, what do I want to level up? Ability to hide. Ability to influence emotions of others to attract or terrify. I feel like Kali would be sneaky the most. Yeah. Wait. Did I skip something? Hold on. Okay, hold on. The stupid overlay is popping up. Okay, can I get this? Sorry. Can I get this overlay to disappear? Let me see. Hold on. Hold on for a second. I'm going to try and be right back as I try and fix this little overlay issue. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Yeah, I might have skipped something. After 20 minutes of pushing through the streets in heavy silence, Podrick is the first to speak. Wait, what? Okay, so there, I guess that was, yeah, it wasn't just me skipping something, it was just a kind of jump. So just to clarify, the hunter shot himself because of what you willed him to imagine. I shrugged nonchalantly, adjusting my hold on Julia. She's limping between us, supported by our shoulders, clearly suffering from her ordeal with that maniac. Oh, why am I blushing now? I had to go into some settings. Hold on, let me fix that. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. From her ordeal with that maniac. Clearly suffering from her ordeal with that maniac. Oh, cut the bullshit. Modesty is not a good look on you. I don't fucking know, okay? It just happened. I just stared at the guy and really hoped he'd fuck himself up. It's not completely true, and they know it. That priest was so full of conviction, this blind, all-encompassing faith, that it was almost more than we could handle. But when Padre got shot, something I didn't know was within me suddenly awoke from its slumber. The urges pulling at my consciousness were intense and vivid. The visions twisted and dark. I can't remember the details now, but I know that by the end I felt like I could taste the sanity of that maniac slipping away. That's what Julia witnessed and Podrick missed. The hunter was battling his own demons, shouting madly at things only he could see, to the point where he gouged out his own eyes to escape his visions. Oh. And when that didn't work, he placed his chin against the barrel of his shotgun and pulled the trigger, his head erupting in a blaze of fire and shrapnel. Those had to be phosphorus shells, the way what was left of him burned with bright, terrifying flames. Damn. She showed him something that made him, Kurt Cobain himself. Or, yeah, shotgun to the face. That's kind of crazy. But they don't need to learn the behind the scenes of it all. Holly, that's twice you've saved us tonight. I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, whatever. Don't sweat it. Look. Hey, look at you two in your domestic bliss. Disgusting. Move it. We're nearly there. We accompanied Julia all the way to Williamsburg without any further trouble. But as we reach the safe house, instead of a relief, a new kind of unease raises the hair on my neck. Like I've just made a grave mistake. Interesting. We made it? I don't know how, but we did. And now, let the chips fall where they may. Interim Elysium. By the moment we lurch through the door to the temporary Elysium, I'm totally worn out. Julia practically slides off my shoulder and crumples to the floor, while I crouch down next to her and put my head between my knees. But while I try to calm the panic that kept me going the past few hours, she moves her only working arm, pulls out a packet of smokes, and tries to retrieve a cigarette from it. Fruitlessly, I might add. Ah, shit. Give me a hand here, will ya? Wordlessly, I place a cigarette between her lips and light it up. She takes a long drag, staring vacantly at the ceiling. Podrick limps over, gives me a comforting pat on the shoulder, and then plops down beside me. We're all simply exhausted. So much has happened, so much has changed. So much has gone to shit. More and more people trickle in, bringing news in hushed whispers. Most of the assembled kindred managed to escape just before the explosion hit. Some are injured, some more than others, Some were injured, some more than others, but in the end, they got away just fine. Prince Panhard got it rough, though. I mean, she's still in one piece and conscious, which is more than can be said about Aisling, but her injuries are pretty severe. She'll need a few days to fully recover, but should be back on her feet soon. Aisling, however, well, her wounds are critical, and it's unclear how long it'll take for her to emerge from torpor. Meanwhile, Addison Payne and his servant are nowhere to be found. His abandoned wheelchair is the only clue they left behind. I wonder, suspicious. There's a rising commotion in the background, but I don't even feel like lifting my head to see what it's all about. The sounds reach my ears as if my head has been plunged underwater. I only realize that something's wrong when Padre gets up and limps over to a couple of kindred having a heated argument, his arms raised in a pacifying gesture which, by now, he should know hardly ever works. Fucking hell. The absolute last thing we need is a pointless kindred scuffle. I'm about to drag myself up to go make sure Padre keeps his head attached to his shoulders and his teeth where they belong when the door opens with a loud thud.
Cut it out, all of you.
Silence engulfs the room. Only Julia, unperturbed, takes another drag of her cigarette and lazily expels the smoke. Kadir and Valerie stride into the temporary shelter looking like they've been through hell. They're covered in blood, clothes dirty and ripped in places, but while multiple gashes and scratches mark their skin, they seem relatively unharmed. Kadir moves to the middle of the room, standing tall with his shoulders square and jaw set. Every conscious eye follows him with hawkish attention.
Our counterattack was successful. We managed to rout the remaining assailants with no further losses.
Valerie joins him, standing at attention, hands clasped behind her back. We were not followed to this new location, and since Elysium is newly established, its whereabouts remain secret. Rest assured, we are secure here for the time being. Kadir surveys the room with a stern gaze, his brow furrowed and furrowing even deeper when he sees Podrick and me. For now, however, he barks out an order to one of his hounds.
You, give me a complete status report on everything that occurred in our absence.
Yes, Sheriff. He gives a brief summary of what's happened during Kadir's and Valerie's murderous rampage, including a tally of the final dead and the wounded. Kadir remains unmoved throughout, rooted to the spot in this weird manner where he seems to be held back by the very fury that yearns to propel him forward. This is, the third time I've seen him in my unlife? And I've never been more certain. Kadir is the most terrifying kindred I have ever met. I'd rather claw my way through a mile of bricks than be stuck in a room alone with him. Sense the beast. Take a closer look. Yeah, let's take a close. The tiny embers of my inner beast tentatively reach out, feeling blindly for its kin, but they meet an inferno instead. Kadir's beast lies coiled just beneath his skin, like an endless, ever-moving serpent of razors and barbs heated up until they glow stark white. I force myself to look away, shivers running up my spine, my forearms covered in goosebumps, when suddenly Kadir snaps his head at me, his eyes narrowed to savage slits.
That'll be enough.
The hound clamps his mouth shut mid-word.
Prince Panhard is in no condition to continue tonight. We will wait the day out here and plan our next steps come nightfall. Any objections?
His tone invites none, and none are raised. The kindred start to slowly filter out, looking for a place to bunk down. I tug at Podrick's sleeve. I think that's our cue to leave.
Indeed, let's... Not so fast.
In the blink of an eye, he steps right into our path, and even though Podrick is just as tall, Kadir towers over both of us, his mere shadow smothering us in its embrace. He tosses us a look sharper than his blade.
Your arrival right before the attack seems far too miraculous for my liking.
Crossing the threshold of exhaustion into extreme irritability, I bristle at his words against my better judgment. What's that supposed to mean? We literally saved your asses.
Perhaps, or perhaps not. We will sort that out tomorrow night. For now, I've got just the right resting place for you. You,
Take them to the basement cell. A cell? You can't be serious. One look from the sheriff is enough to silence me. Neither of us protests as we're escorted down into a clean, unused cell. We do, however, exchange a few whispers. Any brilliant plans to get us out of this mess without landing straight into another one, preferably? He just sighs wearily. Why don't we save the bickering for the evening? I really need rest, and you should get some too. How the hell am I supposed to rest with this fucked up dream playing on loop? No need to be dramatic, Callie. We survived the apocalypse tonight. How much worse can it get? Ooh, no, not a good phrase. How much indeed? At least the cell is sunproof, that's one less thing to worry about. End. A few days ago. Interesting. Paying servant. A few more sips, Addison. There, done. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Ugh. Look at you, getting all relaxed. Think of it as chamomile tea. Nobody drinks it for the flavor, really. Ah, must be tough, sipping on blood that's so far below your standards, especially when it's not from your dear circulatory system. But hey, our supplier went the extra mile to make sure it's palatable enough for you. I've been told finding your type with just the right resonance is a bit of a task. It's got to tick the boxes for us both, after all. Oh, I'm afraid we must continue this charade a little while longer. We have big plans for you, Addison. Big plans indeed. Oh, little intrigue. Yeah. Alright, I think we will both end the night. Oh yeah, exactly, the real mastermind. I think, yeah, the servant is really pulling the strings here. But yeah, I'm going to end the night and I think call it a stream and try and hop back on tomorrow. But yeah, this has been Zume playing Vampire the Masquerade, Reckoning of New York. This has been part 3. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the flip. See ya!